right, and welcome back to. This is session number 19 of In the Shadow of Fire, entitled Burning Wound. Last session, the group, they did things. They were still at Iskari Yanwi, the neighboring town, which has been deserted for some time. They entered into the tunnels beneath, um, caused a weird craft of some sorts to fly out of the ground and then vanish. Then they went into the tunnels underneath it and found some things. They did the smartest thing that they could do. They split the party. One group going down one tunnel, totally keyed for that specific tunnel. It was the best choice to send those specific individuals down that specific tunnel. And the same was true of the other tunnel, of course. Then they found out that that wasn't true, and they had chose the wrong tunnels. Eventually, they found a couple of different things. One group found a strange, ancient tree-like entity, which gave them a glowing, leafy egg. Anytime, Tim. They also found a goblin clan, which was also fun. That's it. Then they returned home. Yeah. What do you all want to do?
In the morning I would send.
Sorry. So you did return back and made it there, and there were no plans in the evening. You're just moving right into the next day, right?
We returned really late. That's what I thought.
Okay. I only have one thing to notate before we move through to the next day. During the evening, Cyril, while you're trying to trance, you always have this feeling that there's someone in the room with you. And whenever you snap out of the trance, there's no one in there.
That's disturbing. A horror movie.
If you're familiar with the idea of like phantom figures and people's like dream states, where they presume that there's a person or presence kind of lingering, and when they waken, it's no longer present. That's basically the concept that I'm going for here. But yeah, other than that, you all wake up in the morning. So yeah, Dan sounded like he was gung ho about something. So what you doing?
Meet with Aramis. Just
Okay.
let him know about the goblins. Our 3-day timer to meet back up with them.
Sounds good.
Their desire for beef, and they have rubies and emeralds galore.
Okay. He states that he personally will go and have dialogue with them. He asks you if it's required that he bring an entourage of sellswords.
I mean, it never hurts. I don't think it'd be a bad idea, but definitely someone who is can speak Goblin.
He says, I can speak Goblin.
And cool. Of course you can.
I taught you how to speak Goblin.
That boat, I hit my head pretty hard.
I assume it's been fun in Ascari Yanwi. He seems to kind of leave it lingering there, like he's willing for volunteered information, but it doesn't sound like he's pressing. Okay.
Oh, I would definitely tell him about the uh, the evil that we unleashed on the land. I would make it. He's definitely privy to that. You can find the entrance to the Goblin Cave. There's probably a large, evil-looking tree by now.
Evil tree. I will keep an eye out for it and steer clear of any evil trees then. And yeah, you can see him start to make ready. Okay. Let's see. Zach, Halo back in the temple. Everything seems to be in order. What are you planning to do today?
I don't think I had anything specific on my docket. Oh, I found out that information doing the research right at the end of the session, so I need to share that with Andy.
Okay.
So that's probably my first place, is to tell him what I found.
Hi ho, off to the Tower of Lore you go. Alright. Let's see. Well, good timing. Andy, you're next on the docket. What would you like to do in the morning?
Yeah, he's up early. He's working over the notes that he took in the tunnels, trying to transcribe them, as well as that strange seed that came out and what we saw of the plant that started growing at the end. And then separate from that, he's thinking about that schism that we have sort of locked away, and the tether. So he's like researching in these different directions.
Ultimately, that one went to where to be locked up in the barracks, right? To be locked
Yep.
in the regular prison. Okay.
And you said it seemed to go into like a hibernation of some sort.
Yeah, it's like very dormant.
I still say we should have just kept it in the Tower of Lore.
Okay. As you're studying, sure enough, Halo arrived. We'll go ahead and cover that dialogue to see if there's any other interruptions. Next on the docket would be Leaf. You awake in the morning? Plans?
Leaf would want to. First of all, he wakes up. He had a good night's sleep with lots of great dreams of him playing awesome music and having a schism respond to him by dancing as he plays the music. And as he goes certain notes, can get it to do certain things like flip and handstand and do some really cool things. So he would wake up and say, aha, I need to go talk to my friend Cyril and see if we can do a buddy study and, see what we can find out. Because I'm sure he wants to know about my dreams and tell him all about all this awesome stuff I can make the schism do.
Okay. So that'll be the case. You said ultimately you're going to end up with the other two that are currently about to jump in a conversation, right?
Sure.
Okay. Again, my brain wanders off sometimes. I apologize. I'm the worst TM. Tim. First order of business for Alaire.
When Lair leaves his room, he would go seek out Fenfear, I believe. To run on, to send, basically he's gonna send him on some fetch quests. Fenfair, I need you to head down to the docks and see when, Master Alvin, would be available to meet. I need to inquire after, if there's any special or any procedures, or would I know that I would have to go through Alvin to schedule ships, or is he just kind of overseas trade, and I can go to ships myself?
You can go to ships directly. You know that Alvin will know that you're going. Like, you're not going to be able to bypass his knowledge of you traveling. If you want to get the most direct, person, basically it would be like going into an arcade and you're like, oh, what do I play? What do I do? How do I get the best amount of tickets? And Alvin's is just like, I know all of the tricks. I know exactly how to operate a crane to get the fuzzy bear. He's the creepy guy at the arcade, is what I'm saying.
That's exactly what I want then.
Wait, how do you know, Doug?
It's Dan.
I don't know if he'll be present or not, but if he's not, just leave a message for him to send someone to get to me. I'll be around. Just I need to seek his counsel on the best ship to maybe hire for something I need them for. The Cirque out, the Zaratan. And then also from there, if you can head to see what Lady Alcontra's availability is for me to meet with her as well.
Okay. Oh, perfect. He seems like he's like, yep, yeah, I can, yeah, I got this. And you see him kind of delegate, and he kind of talk to a hunter who's just kind of standing by. The hunter rushes off to the docks, and then you see Fenfir kind of get up and kind of move out, very ordered and very intent on accomplishing all goals assigned to him.
And while they do that, then I just go back up to my office and do some studying, I guess.
Okay, if you'd like, you can go ahead and make a nature check.
Sure. 16.
Yeah, you've definitely been doing some more kind of research on Zaratan and just kind of keeping it kind of present in the mind. And you know that they are very massive, but you know that if they are above waterline, they will remain there for at most a decade and at least 5 years. They do not come up and then just resubmerge. So if this creature has just only recently come to surface, it is going to be up and about for some time. If it has been up and at it for some time and it retreats, it retreats. But this is barring any kind of cataclysmic circumstances, such as wounding the creature, causing it to retreat under the waves. But if it's just left to its own course, which a creature that size typically is, it comes up for 5 to 10 years and then resubmerges for anywhere between 30 to 50 years.
And is there any notation in my studies about like when it does surface, how mobile it is? Like how quickly does it move about, or is it kind of like stationary like an island?
It's like an island that kind of just floats. Yeah, the waves take it where it will.
Okay. So there's some movement, but it's kind of like it follows the tides then.
It'd be like on a boat with no sail or wind in its mast.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and last but not least, Lady Alcantara, you are greeted very, very, very early in the morning. The captain of the Twilight Knights approaches you. Milady,
Yes.
I have words. We have been recalled back to the capital.
Scanlan. Sorry, cat's just mute.
Of course, I understand. More so than anyone else.
All right.
We've also been instructed to close the portal way on our way back.
What?
John, just as a quick refresher, because I remember, didn't they?
They said
Wasn't I summoned to there, or?
correct.
Okay. Well, I've been called to go to the capital. Is there a way to wait till I go and come back before it is closed?
So, we have been recalled. We are expected to return no more than 48 hours after the order has been brought forward. It was brought forward 3 hours ago. I gave you your time and waited until you were ready to receive your normal business as allotted. That stated, you have a narrow window, but it is my goal to leave as soon as possible. I came simply to ask your leave. It does not sound like I have it. So, if you wish to make your way through the portal way to go and speak to... And you see him stop and not use the honorific War Queen. He says, Lady Eris Noddle, then you may.
Is there any significance to him not using the...
Typically a War Queen is only a War Queen when there's a war.
Gotcha. Alright, in that case, I would pretty much just, get ready to head over there as soon as possible and just,
Captain leaves. Not too long after, Maxie comes in and says, that really clumsy bloke from the Monster Hunters Guild, I don't remember his name. He stopped in and spoke to the scribe and asked if you had time to speak to Olaire.
Not presently, but when I get back, I should hopefully be able to. I have somewhere I have to...
She pulls out her notebook. What time do you think you'll be back?
Well, it will hopefully be before 45 hours is up.
I will go ahead and schedule him for. That looks like you have an opening on the Day of Dan. Fair enough. Close of the book. 6-day structure. The last day of the 6th day is known as the
Right.
Day of Dan. But yeah.
And it's got its own day.
Well,
I've got to be as cool as him to get my own day.
was it for him or was it for Daniel Bunnell? Who knows? Actually, it has significance outside of that. But anyways, returning back to the game of it. So cutting from you, are you planning on calling anyone to your side when you take your passage over, or are you going solo?
The only person that I was thinking of was possibly Cyril, but I don't know how busy he'll be, and if he's not available, I don't have a problem going myself.
Do you send a runner to go and inquire about it, or no?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. Or you could pass the message through Twilight Knights, even though you would note that yours isn't present, and you're presuming that neither is Cyril's. As you're making your way, Halo, to go and Leaf as well, as you're making your way to the Tower of Lore to go and speak with the advisor, your Twilight Knight stops and says, "One moment. Apologies. I am needed elsewhere. I have been recalled." And just starts walking away. Do you pay attention to where they're going?
Which direction? That's all I care.
Looks like they're heading towards the barracks.
Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna do anything about it. Didn't really care for him anyway. I don't like being watched.
Alright. This pause and break in between for the two of you allows for you to realize that you're not too far afield of the other individual. Kevin, Leaf would see Halo, and Halo you'd be slightly ahead of Leaf in that kind of directionality.
Hello, my friend. Wait up.
Of course. Of course. I wait for him to catch up to me. Are you going to visit the wizard as well?
Yes, I was thinking I could spare him my musical talents and expertise.
Well, you're never short on that. Let's go.
Awesome. Just remember, your little wings can make you go pretty fast, so, you got to go at my pace.
Oh, I can do that easily. He rests on his shoulder.
A slow, leisurely walk. Leaf's definitely got a gait to him, but you are allowed into the Tower of Lore, and you find, sure enough, Cyril. Not long before they arrive, your Twilight Knight Cyril says to you, "One moment. Apologies, I have been recalled." And he starts to walk out.
Bye.
Can't believe it. He left without.
You're sitting there kind of looking at the door like, who fucking cares? Don't need to tell anybody. And then the two walk in.
Hello, Cyril. How are you doing?
It is good to see you, both of you. I am worried about the creature. I see it in my dreams.
Oh, you see it in your dreams now? Or is this an old phenomenon we haven't heard of?
It is something. I'm just going to make it up. I'm going to say it's something new. It is something new. It's more present than ever. I felt a pull before, but now I'm almost seeing an image in my mind's eye as I sleep.
That is a bit troubling. And I would share with him what I found out.
Yeah, and again, just if I don't know if Andy remembers.
I would love a summary.
Yeah, it's a summary from you, Zach.
Oh my god, dude. I shouldn't have done all those drugs in college.
You mean yesterday?
Actually, I have been clean for almost 3 months now.
Fair enough. I was just doing a bit.
You go,
Sorry.
Zach.
Oh god, he's it's an elder god, right? That they the ancient ones seem to have been they're his, like, I don't know what a good word for it is, but like,
So what I have in my notes is the ones that came before or ancestors.
Yes.
Is that right?
yeah, that sounds right. Some sort of ancient god from before the gods that inhabited this land.
And it's somehow
That's the voice that you heard, was likely this being. I don't remember if I got like an actual like description of its physicalness, but
it seems to have burrowed into my mind. Am I
Yeah.
gonna turn into one of these things?
that I maybe.
That is not the reassurance I was looking for, my friend.
As you're saying those words, Cyril, you have this strange feeling of kind of claustrophobia. Like everything, like the walls feel kind of like closer than they were before. You're in an open expanse. You're in a very open room, the study that you're in. But all of a sudden, it feels like you're locked and trapped in here, like you've been imprisoned.
In my own body?
There's just a sense of like I can't get out, like kind of like panic that kind of rushes over you when you say the words you said.
I think Leaf would notice that something is going on with Cyril, and he would say, "Do not worry, my friend Cyril. I also had a dream, but it was a much better dream. It was a dream of how we are going to figure out how to communicate with this schism, and like with my music, I will be able to command them to dance and to be wonderful creatures. And don't worry, we will figure this out. I have confidence in us."
Cyril would say, Leaf, that's very kind of you. I'm glad we were able to put the past behind us. I would love your help. Maybe we can visit the schism creature at the garrison, and maybe we can do some more.
Make a insight check real quick, Cyril.
Okay. Yeah. Do I have to choose the portent before?
Yes, before you roll.
So I got a natural one.
Do you want to spend inspiration?
Do I have it? I don't
I don't
have
know.
it.
Okay. Then, yeah.
You can have mine.
Oof, thank you so much, Dan. So, yeah, I'll take 24.
You kind of have that feeling kind of wash over you again. And as it does, you kind of think about it. And you go, in the barracks. In the prison. And if I didn't hit the nail on the head hard enough, the feeling of being imprisoned. Okay, cool.
Right. So
You got a Johnny Silverhand in your head.
I know, right? That's what I was thinking too. I think I'm connected to the one that's in the barracks. I think we need to go there.
Wait, I have a question for you. Andy, did you ever explain to us about how your father, like, zapped in and took the map and disappeared, or did you...
I was
Yes.
there when it
Yes.
happened, wasn't
Yes.
I?
I would have explained it.
Halo was
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah, I literally watched it happen.
And maybe,
shitty.
Cyril, maybe what you are feeling is just your father who is magically scrying on you. And he's probably just doing it because he loves you, you know? That is what fathers do, you know?
I wish I shared your rosy optimism, my friend Leaf, but nothing seems to get you down.
Well, if you say the barracks we need to go, then the barracks we shall. And Halo heads towards the door.
I hope you'll come with us, Leaf.
Yes, of course. We are going to make beautiful music together.
You made a good choice, Stan. I kind of had to go for a little bit higher class, but yeah, I wish I had a bunch of those.
You want me to bring some tomorrow?
Yes. So anyway, Alvin, you after the Aramis meeting.
So, I mean, honestly, I would have taken more time with the Aramis situation. I mean,
Sure.
I kind of rushed over it really quick, but I would have let him know that I would be spending the majority of the day looking at trade routes and seeing ways that I can improve and optimize our distribution of cattle, and then maybe put a look-see
Get
into
more.
some. Yeah. Oh yeah. Fuck. And I would want to maybe find some like what lands are known for refining jewels and rough gems.
The best jewelers in all of the realms are the Rob tier, bar none.
Well, fuck. I don't like them.
The second best duelists and masters of finery, after that would be Alteria.
Are we still at war with them?
According to what you know, yes.
Okay, cool.
Others,
What about third?
you're sitting in the world where that would be proper, where that might be a thing that is, there's probably some people here who aren't bad. There are probably more in Osnobble to the south that are even better. The capital probably not so much, but there are probably villages throughout that are really good at jewelry.
Okay. And I really want to keep our connection. Like, I want it to be private. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
people to fucking know about these goblins.
You're making money moves, but you're not doing it like super open and broad.
Correct.
If someone asks, why do you want to know? You're like, it's my business. Got it.
Right.
The main thing I wanted to cover, though, is after your conversation with Aramis and as you kind of head to the ports and start getting ready to ingratiate yourself in the game, I need you to make a perception check.
Sure.
You turn around. One of the goblins followed you home, and you didn't even notice.
Okay, so 19. You don't know what it is. You kind of turn your head over your shoulder, and kind of look around, but you feel like someone's watching you. You don't know what it is.
I can't be, I'll remind you of the necklace.
Yeah, you don't think it's magical. You genuinely think someone is actually looking at you, and you look around, and you're
Well,
like,
I'll take some time to actively perceive for a little while.
okay.
And, like, discreetly.
Yeah, again, that would be the perception check. You're kind of looking around. There is no one that seems to be concerned or caring at you. You know, based on the nature of the magic item, that should not be possible. And at
Okay.
the same time, you're still like,
I'm in the ports.
you're kind of in between. Aramis is to the south there in the farmland, so you kind of have to walk around. If you're not dealing with the southern ports and the trading hall, you have to move kind of up and around to the northern ports.
Am I, like, right here?
Kind of north of the temple when that happens.
Okay.
All right. Cyril, Halo, Leaf still just hanging out, or were you heading in a direction?
We're heading
were
to the
heading to-
barracks.
Yep.
Okay. And Ulaire, you were studying. Fenfir comes back and says, "It doesn't seem like Lady Alcontra will be available for a couple of days. I went and made an appointment for you for the Day of Dan, just before lunchtime."
Well done. Thank you very much, Funfair. I'll make sure to keep the appointment.
Your Twilight Knight also left.
Did he not say anything to me when he left?
Didn't say anything to you because he doesn't stay inside your office. He stays inside the front room, you remember?
Right. I wonder where Colorami went.
I believe that I saw him heading towards the barracks.
Alright, well, I got nothing else to do for the time being. I'm gonna go check it out.
Alright?
If the hunter you sent out gets back, come get me.
Of course.
And I will head to the barracks to go see what's happening.
Alright. The last of you that's heading kind of in that direction would be Lady Alcontra. I'm assuming with guard.
Yeah, probably. Just like
You're on.
one,
Yeah.
though. Like, you know.
A couple, just one of your guards. Got it. You head that way. You can see that there does appear to be a gathering of individuals kind of heading in that direction from the Tower of Lore. Ulair would probably be the first one who actually gets there. But
That's right, people.
do you try and avoid your advisors or intercept them?
Man, I've got this guy Self just sitting right there too. I'm just not going to bother with it and keep walking.
Okay. Yeah, they're moving ahead. It doesn't seem like they're going to be engaged by you unless you directly engage them. So, yeah, they continue on. Especially with Leaf talking, they're not going to overhear anything behind them or know that anyone's present. Other than Leaf, because he's awesome.
It's awesome.
Wait a minute. Talking is
now-
not right. I'm singing them some of the lyrics of my new song.
Sorry, I underestimated your awesomeness. I
I
apologize.
was going to say, am I anywhere in a proximity where I can just stare at Alvin and make him think two people are watching him?
No. But
Love you, Dan.
Ulair, you make it into the barracks. You can see that the guards are kind of standing around the magic circle in the center of the open space, the training yard, if you will, just kind of looking around awkwardly. And you can see the captain of the guard, not the real captain, but the other guy, whose name I've already forgotten 30 times. But that one guy who you would know would supposed to be the captain but isn't good at it, is kind of standing there telling them, go back to your posts quickly, come on, beyond.
I'll approach George and say, "What's happening? What's all the commotion around here?"
The soldiers from the capital, they just left through the portal way. They took it,
Took what?
the thing that you brought in and had us locked downstairs.
Shit!
Brr. Always thwarted.
All right. Time to be foolish.
Keep in mind, the only people who know how to get through the portal way are Alcantara and
I don't know how to get through it. That's right. That's what I
Halo.
learned.
Also, John, his name is Zerbos.
Zerbos, that's right. I will forget it.
Puppy.
Probably before the end of the
I
session.
wrote the notes down so that you don't
so
have
much
to remember.
cuter than cats.
You know what? You go ahead and get inspiration,
You take
because
that back.
you go ahead and get that inspiration, because you did a good job.
So adorable.
Let's talk about the cat comment, John. Take it back. I will take the inspiration. Don't take that back.
Fair enough. Ulair,
cute.
you're distracted by a random animal. The other three of you walk in and would see the scene as I've said it. Ulair standing not too far from Zerbos. Zerbos there being present, and the other guards now slowly kind of wandering back to their posts.
As I see him come, I'm like, they've taken it through the portal.
Care to be more specific about it?
Cyril's with him, right?
Yep.
Oh wait, and Halo is there too.
Yeah.
What do you think? The thing that was getting kept here for us.
Sorry, there's a lot of things in this town.
You see like a look of panic on Cyril's eyes. John, does he sense anything different now that the creature is far away?
You don't feel anything.
So that panic, that feeling from the tower is not there anymore?
Correct.
Huh.
Guys, this is our third treachery.
Yeah, it didn't last long. It was lingering. It wasn't. Yeah, sorry. It was the opposite of lingering. It was faint. It was just kind of. It happened, and then when you thought about it, it happened again, and you were kind of like reliving an experience again. Like
Okay.
Yeah.
I told you should have kept it in your tower, Andy.
Cyril would say maybe it's for the best. I don't think I want to be close to those things right now.
Lady
Dude, you have
Cyril, but what's your job or your duty?
Lady
It's to research things.
Alcantara, you would see the scene as I've already laid it out.
Not to
Right.
to bear down on you, but it's not for the best. If it was docile, it could have expanded your understanding and knowledge of these things. We could have learned so much that might have helped us either in having if we ever had to fight them, or
That's-
helped your knowledge if there's a way to understand them and communicate with them.
That is one way of looking at it, Ulair. Another way is that I fear I might have been compromised, and what help would I have been then?
We would have been here to prevent that.
So at this point, I'd walk over and tell Cyril that he has to come with me and get incorporated into the schism, or else. No.
So as you're entering in, I would like everyone who's currently at the barracks to go ahead and make a perception check.
I'm just going to go ahead and use my 16, so that'll be 20.
Okay.
13.
18.
This doesn't include me, right, John?
Everyone who's in the barracks. That would be
Oh, okay.
you as well, yeah.
Okay, wasn't sure. 20.
Okay. Is that everyone?
Yep.
Oh, Cyril said he took the 16
Cyril
for
took
20.
the, yeah.
Yeah,
Cyril
so I have a
took
20
the
as well.
20.
So you all feel like you're being watched. There's just this weird, strange, lingering sense of someone watching you.
Hey, Cyril, I also feel like I am being watched now. I think it is your father. So maybe if you request that he come here instead of just watching us from a distance. Hey, Cyril's father, why don't you come here and hang out with us instead of watching us from a distance, man? You know, be cool. You are his father, man. Come on.
It hurts. It hurts, Luke.
I
It
think
hurts.
that's a bit much, but there's two things that come to mind. Either it's somehow that ship full of the
You'll get it
ancient
in.
ones
Zach, don't
That-
worry.
that disappeared.
I
or
see.
has
I
something to
see
do
you
with the
trying.
tree. I'm very uneasy about this. I was planning on to check it out later, but I think it might be more important to see what happened with the seed.
I'm trying to figure out what accent Kevin has now.
It's French, you asshole.
What type of French accent was that?
Fair.
Hello. What do you mean? Is it French? Does that sound better French, maybe?
Sounds
Whoa.
Italian now.
Oh
It's
my
This my
Italian.
French accent is very good.
Hey, check it out. This is my French accent.
This
man.
is my French accent, eh?
Borat doing a French accent.
Hey, I want you guys, besides Tim, he's trying an accent. Everybody else is just talking normal, so fuck you.
No, you're
Hey,
totally
I
right,
did
Kevin.
an accent the entire last campaign.
And I definitely raise the inflection of my voice
Yeah.
every
That is
time I
true.
speak Halo.
I'll never do an accent.
Not an accent. I had an accent as Yen Lawrence.
I remember a time when Andy said he was gonna do like his New Jerseyan accent, and then someone else did it, and he was like,
It ruined it.
"You're like, you know what?
Never
You know
mind.
what? I'm just gonna randomly say grok
That's
for
right.
like 3 times, and then that's it.
That's it.
So anyway, yeah, you feel like you're being watched. You don't know where the source of the eyes is coming from, but you would basically all through just being present with Zerbos and kind of understanding the situation, come to the conclusion that you all are aware that the Twilight Knights saved the captain, left through the portal, and they took your prisoner with them.
Right. I would also like approach the group and just briefly ask to talk to Cyril and sort of like explain the situation to him and see if he's free to come along to the capital to talk with the with Lady Arisnadel with me, or at least accompany me there, and if nothing else, maybe he can find out what's going on with the schism, talk to his friends, the Untimely and the other guy.
Yeah, I mean, now that the schism is gone, there's really not a lot that can be done other than his concern about the seed and what might have happened there. If Ulair is sending someone to check on that, I think that concern would be addressed.
Road trip.
Okay. So the two of you are entering through the gate then?
Wait
Yep.
a minute here. Did they say that in front of Leaf?
No, I pulled Cyril aside to mention that to him, what was going on.
Okay. Because if you said it in front of Leaf, he would say, "Hey, Lady Aristotle is my friend," but if you did not say in front of him, then he would not say that.
Yeah, so Leaf and Halo are watching them talk with Ulair, and all three of us are like, what do you think they're talking about?
They're probably saying how great my songs are.
So Cyril
Yeah.
would say to El Contra that Halo
most
and
sense.
Leaf have been especially helpful with the schism, and perhaps they might be of assistance.
Mm,
Now they're looking at us.
The
You think they're
issue-
talking
Right.
about us now?
Pointing a little bit.
the issue being, I don't necessarily know how secretive or publicly known this is to be, so I'd rather keep it a smaller entourage.
Okay. Should we inform them that we're going? What our plan is, though, so that they can help us later, and we could just the two of us go?
We can inform them.
Yeah, I mean, no need to keep a secret there. They know a lot already.
All right.
Yep.
If that's the case, you pass that information along. Does anybody who is not in the entourage that is going want to make an emboldened plea to try and change that, or are we just gonna move?
Well, after they tell us like what their plan is, Halo would say, "Are you sure you don't want anyone else to go? I mean, we don't need to accompany you with the meeting at Aristotle. I'm sure we could go and talk to the mages with Cyril, or
Cyril shaking his head, yes. yes,
perhaps like investigate with the library, see if I could find out more about this being. There's more tomes in the temples in the capital than there are here."
Yes, I second what he is saying, because my friend Alo knows a lot about, he just knows a lot about what you should do. And I should go see Lady Aristotle because we were great friends. And also, as far as schisms are concerned, I told you about my dream. I can control them with my music. I mean, come on. Who wouldn't want me to go along? I mean, come on. Come on.
I
Perhaps
raise a skeptical
may be
eyebrow.
Perhaps Leaf
Cyril's
may be
not
better
in.
to accompany you to see Lady Aristotle, and Cyril and I can go check in with the mages, no?
Blair,
The invitation.
shop liver.
I'm waiting for others before I have asked two things.
No, that's fair.
The
go.
invitation to talk to Lady Aristotle was not, as far as I know, extended to others.
Yeah, but they already have a relationship. He said they're great friends.
Great friends does not necessarily get you everywhere. If he wants to come, I'd suggest he sticks with Cyril and you.
As you wish, Lady Alcantara.
You almost said Lady Aristotle, didn't you?
I did. I was right.
He's thinking about a much better regal piece of nobility.
Damn! Lady Alcantara.
Just throwing
Two things.
shade.
One, I know you have your business here, but I'm gonna go check on that tree. I have a bad feeling about it. I don't know what we have unleashed, but I'll go to make sure that we have eyes on it. Two, do I have your leave to have Badger Bog start entering into negotiations with dwarves? I want to start expanding the hunter business as quickly as possible to try and help our town and bolster its economy.
Dan, make a perception check.
I make a perception check.
That's what I asked for, yeah.
Okay.
What do you get? Yeah. You just continue walking onto the ports.
I think investigating the tree is a fine idea. As for the dwarves, I would prefer that we at least, if you do start slowly and start quietly. We don't necessarily have the official negotiations worked out, but I see no reason why we cannot at least feel things out.
Understood. I'll let Badgel's very competent. I'll have him start start preliminary drafts of what that might look like. to await final approval. I wish you safety on your trip. And
you on yours.
thank you.
So still just Cyril and Alcantara, correct?
No, I mean
No,
I'm fine with letting Halo and Leaf come along. I'm just saying that to like Leaf, I don't think that he'll get a chance to see Aristotle, at least until I've probably seen her in private first. Because, again, I'm not 100% sure of the nature of the meeting yet, and I don't want to intrude what might not be allowed.
agreed.
Okay. So, you all move towards the portal and enter through. When you appear on the other side, you're standing on the surface of a cleft tree. You are inside of a tree that's been kind of bored out for this position. Most of you have already been on this side of it. You would note that the only other person that appears to be present in the room, sorry, the only two people that appear to be present in the room are a priest, a priestly kind of individual who I think some of you have saw on the way out back to Kasari Anwi, and you would see a knight. This knight is very different than any of the knights that you've seen. Absolutely 100% different. Elvish, of course. His armor is the grandest you have ever laid eyes upon. It is probably the most expensive suit of mithril and adamantine armor you've ever seen crafted. On his belt, he has a very fine-looking elvish sword, which seems to be of a very similar style to the Sentinel swords from history. Looks like it's very ornate, guarded, and beautiful. And he is wearing a helmet, or she is wearing a helmet. Seems to be completely covering of the face. The eye slits are very narrow, and there's no kind of mouth visibility. Doesn't seem that there's much room for breathing either from the helmet. It seems to just be kind of a flat mass with kind of ornate kind of stylings that allow for the ears to exit outwards on the sides. But this individual kind of stares at you as you enter in, and the priestly fellow kind of looks up at you and says, "Ah, Lady Alcantara, you have come to speak to Lady Aristotle. I did not presume we would have other guests, but I suppose as long as the captain has not returned back, the gateway is still available. If they are left here by it being terminated, I apologize ahead of time."
Yes, well, hopefully our business shall not keep us here too long. They wish to speak with the court mages. I'm trying to remember their names. I just remember the untimely part of that one guy's name.
Yeah, so it's Frederick the Untimely, and the not so nice one was Malin Crestwald.
I was going to say Fred the Untimely. I just couldn't remember the.
Frederick is currently, and as he's about to talk, you hear a clatter, kind of like a sound of like metal kind of gripping, and you can see the knight's hand kind of clench suddenly, and the priest kind of look over. Will not be able to be called upon at this time. Neither will the other courtly mages. They are currently afield.
I see.
Oh, sorry. The knight's armor, black and silver kind of coloring. The helmet, on the other hand, is bright red.
Cyril, you had mentioned also possibly wanting to look through the library here, did you not?
That would be helpful.
The priest looks back at the knight, then looks to you. That should be acceptable. Lady Alcantara, if you will follow gestures towards the knight. The knight looks at you, then turns and starts walking away from you.
Yeah, I guess I follow the knight. Hopefully they don't turn around and stab me.
So I could just stay here then.
Hello, knight. How do you see with the blast shield down on that helmet?
Doesn't seem there's a response.
You just hear an audible sigh.
A sigh so massive the helmet explodes.
I was talking about for
I bet you can see better without the blast shield now.
The knight says nothing throughout the entirety and leads you into the tree, up into the tree, higher up to what appears to be kind of an extension out of the tree onto or inside of a branch. Eventually, you come out to what feels like a balcony. There are a number of gilded chairs kind of present throughout the place. Very kind of open air. It's a misty morning here in the middle of the island. And you would note that the only person that seems to be present is Lady Shara Aristotle, who is kind of leaning over a railing, and in one hand she's holding a goblet, just kind of staring off out over the city below. She doesn't seem to notice you. The knight stops with a loud kind of clatter of metal and armor. This catches Aristotle's attention. She turns and she waves him off, or her, or them, and the armored knight turns and exits the room. Lady Aristotle looks to you. I'm sure you've been informed that my Twilight Knights will be recalled.
I have. I hope you do not mind, but I told the captain to wait until we returned.
I assumed as much.
Would stay open.
As she kind of turns to face you, you can see that like her left side was what she kind of showed to you first, but as she finally turns full face to you, you see that her right side of her face, there's a massive scar that runs from probably inside the top of her brow all the way down to her chin. That wasn't there last time you hung out with her. She kind of turns and looks at you and she says, "Our battle in the Alterian Strait was complicated, but ultimately successful."
That's good to hear.
I suppose that is one way of putting it. She says, "I do feel that we have focused a lot of our attention in a wrong-headed way. Unfortunately, my position has been rescinded, and I am, as always, a bit too successful for my own good. But I am sure that you were not one who wanted this war to be drawn out any longer than it needed to be."
No. It was a little bit too close to home for comfort, I suppose you could say.
That should no longer be a problem. I will leave you to the trivialities and the banalities of running a coastal town, which you are used to. But, as I understand it, we had discussed something very important to the defense of this island, to the nature of my goals and my purposes. And if I'm being informed correctly, you betrayed that, even though I expressly told you not to. You left a schism in a place where it could be seen by people that were not privy to its knowledge. You, being a town lord, should know how quickly rumors spread in such a close, tight-knit town.
Who's the leaker?
You are.
You guys put it in the thing as opposed to the tower, like I'd said.
She looks at you, looks at the goblet, which is about half full, and she just tosses it to the side. It shatters. It appears to have been a very expensive crystal goblet. The wine probably equally expensive. And she says, "Get out of my sight."
All right, I'd leave.
All right.
I would not leave when he leaves, unless I did. Was I there?
You weren't there.
No.
Oh, son of a bitch!
You can't overstay
I
your
should have been
welcome,
there.
but you're not even there.
I told you weren't there multiple times.
Okay, okay. That's fine.
Cyril, leave Halo. She exits with the knight. What do you do in the meantime? The only person left to you is the priest.
You said this is a library, though, where I could do
Well,
some research, yeah?
Yeah, there is a library off inside of the Great Tree. Correct. So.
The priest is there.
Correct.
Tell me, have you? Random question. Ever heard of the Children of the Stormheart?
I have not. I know of the Stormheart. That is the isle in the center of the Dragon Isles, which storms indefinitely.
Mm-hmm. Well, you said there was a library here. Does your temple have separate religious texts, or is everything, all of the knowledge, kept in this library?
All knowledge is kept in the same place.
Then lead the way, kind sir.
Oh, gestures to Cyril. I think he knows the way. I have to remain here to sever the tie once it's ready
course.
to be severed.
Then you lead the way, other kind sir. And he points to Cyril.
And so Cyril would lead Halo to the library by himself,
Sure.
and he would whisper, "It's better this way," as they walk.
Okay. Leaf, you go with them to the library, or are you just going to wander about yourself? Last time you wandered around this area, you got attacked by an assassin, so...
Oh,
Round 2, baby.
Leaf has
if you want.
Leaf has a much grander idea of what his day would be like this time. He asks the knight and the priest. He says,
Knight's not
may
there.
I-
Knight's not there.
"All right, the priest. May I get an audience with Lady Eris Nodal? I am her friend, Leafan Stasialu."
I apologize. I don't think I can facilitate that. I have to remain here on her order to sever this gate once the Twilight Knight captain returns through from Kusari Anwi.
Oh, that is fine. I will see myself to her place if you just point me in the right direction.
I suppose she would be in her apartments, but I do believe she will probably be guarded from any visitors. But
Oh, that is okay. I have a great way of communicating with her. Hang on 1 minute. I put up my hand and I send her a sending. I say, Lady Eris Nodal, this is your greatest fan, Lifan Stasialu, and I want to tell you I am in town. I would like to meet with you, and we can make beautiful music together. I have some new songs. I would love to talk to you.
It's 25 words long. You got
You
cut off
can-
somewhere along there.
You can return this message.
didn't even get there. Didn't even get to the part where she, was told something she already knew. The response to the message is, "Enjoy the capital. I have no time for you."
Guess what? She said she would like to meet me later, but who knows? I'm busy. We'll see if we get together or not. I'm going to go with you guys.
That's not how rejection works.
So cool.
you go up if you do go in that general direction, and not follow the library kids. You will see that Lady Alcantara is heading back down towards the main chamber, so you'd be able to cut her off if you'd want.
Sure, I'll do that. Yeah.
I'm assuming Lady Alcantara is visibly.
Oh, if Leaf approaches, she just says, "Do not speak to me," and just keeps walking.
It looks like somebody did not have a great day.
What did I just say?
That was talking to myself. You cannot hear that.
Interior dialogue. You may have gotten inside of my mind one time, but you ain't there right now, baby. Oh, I love it. All right. So she storms off. Leaf. She does appear to be very distressed and angry. That said, Halo and Cyril, you walk into the library. It's pretty much empty. You see an occasional scribe, but there aren't very many people. There does appear to be one person kind of sitting at the tables where you first kind of sat and had Congress with Frederick and Mellon. And he looks very familiar to you. It's your father sitting at the table. Looks like he has a series of books kind of out and about, settled on the table. Doesn't look up.
Okay, so it's Cyril's father, yeah?
Correct. Not Halo.
My
He would
father.
do like
My dad can't read.
he would do like a Riker over the chair.
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah.
Sit
It was-
and right in front of his dad and say, "Hey, Dad.
Kind of lifts his eyes up to you.
Uh,
Oh,
funny meeting you here."
I suppose. It's probably going to happen a lot more since you finally picked up the trail. He kind of smiles and then looks back down at the book. Very invested in the reading.
What is the book?
You just see the words. It's not open. You can't see the spine of it. You don't know. It's just the text.
Well, I can't make anything from the
It's-
words on the exposed page.
It's definitely not a book you've read before. It seems to be detailed information regarding giants and giant blood.
Okay.
Is it written in Giant's blood?
It is. It seems to be written in Elvish with subnotes in Common and notations on the footers in the giant tongue.
Okay.
And it seems that this is not his book. Obviously, he's at a library.
Right. Have you felt a tether to one of these creatures as well?
No, I didn't let myself get hit by one. He looks at the book angrily and kind of places his hand there. You see kind of a glow kind of appear on the page he's on, and he shuts it. Go on. Tell me about how you were so distraught with your prodigal can't even speak, with your perfect childhood raised in lavish serving an advisement to a lord or lady now, I suppose. Tell me how bad your childhood was compared to others, please. Go
My
on.
childhood was fine. You're just being an ass.
Fair enough. So, anything else you want to place down on the table that matters to me?
It seems
this
we
point-
have a similar goal, but you care not whether I'm involved.
You're not
it-
even close to understanding what this goal you say
So
you have is.
then why don't you educate me so I can be of some assistance?
Are you going to teach this one? Points to Halo magic because they can't do it.
He should know who I am.
Oh no, yeah, he does, and that's why he says, "Are you going to teach this one magic because he cannot do it?"
But
That doesn't make any sense.
I can do magic, sir.
He's saying he can't teach you.
He raises his hand and he says, "No, you cannot do magic. You can manipulate the white winds. You are a spirit guide. You are a beacon of light. You are not a crafter of artifice." He says this, his hands become like lightning, and he shuts his hands with kind of a sizzling pop. "You are not like us," and he gestures to Cyril. "You are not a wizard."
Don't know if I'd want to be if it makes me an asshole.
And he looks at Cyril. "Do you see how much time I just wasted explaining the differences? The minutia? I don't have time for you to catch up. Do it on your own." He opens the book back up to the exact same page. You see the glowing mark kind of disappear once it opens, and he goes back to reading intensely.
Yeah, Cyril's gonna walk away.
All right.
Okay. He doesn't want any part of me? Fuck him. So I would look for the section of the library that might have something to do with the seed that we found.
You're already in it.
Beautiful. That's what I would want to look for.
Yeah. Go ahead and make an history or arcana check, or nature check, your choice.
Am I
I've
there to
seen
help him with that?
Different results.
You can make a perception check, Halo.
So not a helping.
No, he wouldn't be helping. I don't think Halo would be terribly useful in that regard.
Uh-huh.
Probably.
We're gonna try history.
Okay.
12.
Andy, do you have inspiration?
I don't, and Dan just gave me his.
He can have mine. Give him
Oh,
26.
I was going
Oh,
to say he
thank
could
you.
have mine, but okay, that works
Thank
too.
you.
Okay. So you find where you think the book will be. The book being entitled The Lachey, a treatise on the ones before the Eladrin, penned and authored by an individual named Delarian Atele. But it's not present. It seems it's been checked out.
Could I inquire about who checked it out? Do they have that kind of record?
They point towards the table with your father at it.
What a jackass.
Oh,
Fucking
come
nuts.
on. You knew that's where it was going to be, Andy.
know.
So,
Just go
Seems
fucking
we,
take it.
yeah.
Just go fucking take it.
He's
Yeah.
gonna go back again and sit in front of his father.
You can see that there's a stack of books there. The one he's reading, again, you haven't figured out the title to.
Do I
But
see the book that I want?
you do see the Lachey. You do.
I'll just take that and I'll walk away.
I mean, there's a perfectly decent sized table there for you to sit and study at. It's the only table in the section that would be worth sitting at.
Oh, you're just forcing this, aren't you? Okay.
I'm not forcing you. You could go
Sure.
somewhere else if you wanted
Take
to
it.
go and sulk
Fuck
off
this guy.
somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it, walk away.
All right.
Screw him. I'll go sit down on the floor and read it if I need to.
Doesn't seem to notice. You go.
Don't
Yeah,
sit
I
on
don't
the
care.
floor like a child. No.
Cross my arm.
Halo, anything else from you as you kind of you're fluttering around, kind of trying to help him find the books that he's trying to research here. You're not doing much help here in this library searching process, but again, now that he's away from his father, the father being set to himself,
Yeah. Are there any other is there a religious section that would tell me more about like the Children of the Stormheart away from like the books that he's reading?
it seems that the information you're kind of seeking out there would be in the same section that Cyril was just searching in.
Okay.
Yeah, and if you go ahead and want to make a religion check to try and research that specifically, you can.
22.
Okay. You are looking for investitures regarding the nature and divinities and presence of a divine storm in the Stormheart, and the things that have been cited therein. And sure enough, you find a section of the library that has a number of books that have been kind of scoured from it. But you find a tome that you think is useful. It appears to be a first volume in a series of 10, and the last 4 have been checked out.
Same asshole.
You actually think about it and you go, yeah, they were in that stack on this table.
Yeah. I am because moving books is harder for me because I have to like shrink them down and like carry them somewhere else, make them big again to read them. Right there, I'm gonna like push one out of the stack. Like you see, little tiny Halo like pushes the one book that he wants to read out of the stack, like makes a few of them fall over, and then like right on top of the table flips the big book open.
Well, with those books missing,
Just so damn cute.
with those books
No, leave it that
missing
way.
and your height, you can. I mean, because again, you're looking for you want the first volume, which is present on the bookshelf.
Oh, okay.
He's taken the last 6 of the series.
Got it. Yeah,
So,
I'm just gonna read the first one.
You
then.
could just slide the 2 through like 6 over, and then push that book down on its shelf and open it there.
Absolutely, that's exactly what I'm doing. So I'm like standing on the shelf, just like arms on my hips, like flipping giant pages while I'm like reading, and just like
Nice.
okay,
Perfect.
okay. Big giant flip page. Okay.
Yeah, with the amount of time that you're kind of spending, not a lot, because there will be kind of a point where we're going to sidewind you in. It does seem that this book is very introductory, and it seems to be kind of setting terms, and it does seem to be kind of notating to later aspects in other books. And as you kind of start pulling through, where it starts referring to Children of the Stormheart, it seems to be referring to text number 7, which is over with Dad. If you're looking
Okay.
at more information regarding the Stormheart and the things that are known about it, those are all covered throughout 1 through 6. But it seems 7 through 10 are more relative to the adventures that have gone out, or the sorties that have gone out to the island and what they gleaned.
Yeah, I think we're kind of limited on time. I don't have like a week to spend in this library, I don't think. So I'm going to just try and get to volume number 7. Because that's where you said like the index in this one points me to.
So you would fly right over to Daddy and his stack of books.
Yep, do the same thing. Like push whatever book I need off of the stack from the rest of them, flip over the giant page and start reading.
He looks down at you and then says, "How have you been?"
It's been a lot. Yourself?
You have no idea.
I'm sure I don't. You seem okay though.
You see him kind of stop, do his placeholder spell, kind of shut the book, look over to Cyril quickly, and then turn back, hoping not to catch his attention. And he says, "Is any good?"
He's better than you would expect.
Good. I know I left a lot on his shoulders. I was expecting more of a blow up than what I got.
No, he's had to grow up quite a lot, especially in these last few weeks.
Sure. I don't want to lead him along, though. He looks at the book you're looking at, kind of stops. This is more than you can handle, Halo. I promise you, if you continue your research here.
Unfortunately, this seems to have been thrust upon the town. They don't have much of a choice.
Speaking of which, cutting back, Lady Alcantara, you would see that your advisor and guide are not present in the teleportation room. If you inquire with the cleric, he would tell you that
I'm not inquiring with the cleric. They can find their own way back.
you are going straight into the portal and heading out.
Yep.
Okay. Leave.
All right, I guess we're spending a week here then, Andy.
I'm not sending the captain the guard back. He
No.
said he doesn't need to be back for 48 hours. I'm just going through the thing.
Yeah, and Halo knows the portal way, so as long as the captain doesn't come through, yeah. But Leaf, are you going through the portal way, or are you going to go and inform your friends that the portal might be closed off to them if they don't hurry?
Oh, I am going to do a sending to let my friends know that the portal may be shut off, but I have other plans in mind. I have a party tonight, playing some music, meeting with some friends, having a good time, exchanging music, all that type of stuff.
You're in the
just
capital,
fun.
you might as well live it up.
Hell yeah, man!
Alright.
Basically, was Leaf still, or when I ran into Leaf, was he just standing by the portal, basically?
No, he was coming up towards you, like he was kind of,
Oh, okay.
like he was heading towards Aristotle's room, and then he kind of stopped and it looks like he was about to talk to you. You said shut the fuck up, and then he kind of, fuck this, party time. I'm assuming, is that right, Kevin? Does that sound about accurate?
Yes, that is right. This is the sending I'm going to send to my friends. I'm going to send this to Alo. Alo, how are you doing? I could not meet up with Lady Aristotle, so I'm going to go meet some friends, play some music, have some fun.
And that's where the sending cuts off.
No, it doesn't. I am not at 25 yet. I'm close to 25.
Now
What
you
I
burned
say-
it. Now you burned
No,
it.
no, no. This is what I say. I say, the portal might be closed to you soon, but what the hell? You can find your way home anyways. I will see you later. Leaf, you can respond to this message.
Nice.
Thank you. I guess we'll meet up later. Somehow. You know how to get a hold of us.
All right. That message probably comes in as you're talking with El Padre, and He shrugs, kind of confused, as you kind of blank for a second. He understands what happened, but he doesn't know what.
Exactly happened. Just that I
He
was
knows.
taught.
He knows that a communication was had. Yeah.
Sorry, you know bards.
I do. I hear that the new ruler of Kusari Yanwi is trained in the arts of the Skald. And
She is. You are correct.
interesting. I heard about her father too. Sad affair.
It's always unfortunate when one passes, especially in the manner as him. It was a long struggle towards the end.
Sure. I'm pretty sure I will not suffer such a fate. By the way, Cyril, the whole time you can't hear what they're saying, but you can see that Halo and your dad are talking.
Mm-hmm. Cyril keeps reading.
All right. So yeah, information-wise for you, you are picking up a little bit, not much. It seems that this book is kind of like a puzzle piece. Like it's one piece of something that needs to be kind of caught on with other things. Like the information, it's fine, it seems like it makes sense, but it feels like there's nothing sparking, nothing kind of really igniting the flames of thought here.
Okay. He would go back to the table where his father and Halo are and look through that pile of books.
Okay. He looks up at you, your father, and kind of stops talking to Halo immediately and says, "Oh, you don't know timeout?"
Halo tries his best not to laugh out loud.
So Cyril would not respond to that.
But you can see that Cyril's literally, Halo is literally about to laugh at the joke.
Oh yeah, I'm not hiding my face. I'm just like.
And would look at the pile of books to see if there's anything else that might be of interest.
Just sit, he says, and he shuts his book after marking it. I really, really detest having to explain things. But if you've been exploring this matter for some time, perhaps new eyes might be beneficial to me. You understand their nature?
I think I'm coming to understand their nature. We've
Yeah.
seen some of them made beneath the Skari Yanwi.
The Ancient Ones, as you might refer to them as, are an ancient leftover, a remnant of the One Wood. However, it was after the defilement of Kashea Thea that they were formed, not before. They do not have the purity of the earth as it once had, the healthiness that was present in the world before it was corrupted by other sources, by other gods.
What gods?
The gods, all of them. You see, these leftovers, these remnants, they're true power. Pure. Perfect. When life was created by the deities, it was an attempt to either create law to something that was boundless, or to create true power to something that was completely ordered. No one is like another. because, like humans, like elves, like dwarves, they all come from the same root, but they're all so very different. And how they breed. Oh, how they breed.
How can they be perfect if they are come from corruption?
You don't seem to understand the nature of perfection in a material world. Did you really think that a perfect organism would be wholesome, kind, good?
I'd like to think so.
Well, that's a hell of a bias you need to shirk.
Perfect killing machine?
No. Killing is so childish. He looks over to Halo like, help me. like he's looking at you like, I mean...
I only speak of our interactions with them. They seem to only have one intention.
But we haven't seen them kill, have we?
They really like music.
Where
Just saying.
Where have you seen them? Nadrathi?
Iskari. No, they are on the Rended Isle. There was a tunnel in Iskari Yanwi that we accessed.
He reaches his hand out to Cyril, and he reaches his hand out to Halo.
I accept it.
Me too.
You all vanish and appear inside of Iskari Yanwi, and he looks around. Show me.
I
There
fly
was a
directly.
ship. There was a ship in which they were manufactured. The ship is no longer here.
A ship? As in a sailing craft, or like a sky ship?
Made of metal.
The wind seems to be kind of flowing through the area pretty densely. You can see the crater, and you could probably see at this hour a small group of individuals kind of making their way on the north side of the town. Inside of the crater, you can see that the tree seems to have grown to a height of about 6 feet. It has 2 or 3 branches. It seems to kind of glow with like a radiance. He doesn't seem to care or concern himself with it, but kind of looks around. A strange craft in the earth. Can you draw it?
I have notes
Where? The library back at the Capitol, or your tower?
in my tower. And as he would describe,
Before you even start beginning to describe, he places his hands out to you again.
okay,
This one's free. And he smiles as he taps the finger, or taps his ring finger, and you all disappear and appear in the Tower of Lore. And he kind of smiles. At least the sentence gone. Show me.
so he would spread out his papers with the drawings of the vehicle, of the metal, almost like the treads where they seem to be produced.
I haven't the slightest. This is as detailed as you can remember it. He points at a very specific part of the craft. This is very strange.
And then Cyril would describe what happened when Ulair. Did you pull a switch, Tim? Is that what it was? Remember the thing that caused the craft to ultimately rise up and fly away.
Oh, you mean when I killed one of the leader?
Oh, that thing, yeah, that thing. He would describe that, and then that's what precipitated the craft to leave.
What you're describing is strange. The creatures don't typically act in a uniform fashion. It sounds like they were being manipulated or controlled somehow.
He would describe the wizard-like creature that we saw as well.
Yes. Yes. I do not know who that was. Did you see the wizard?
I can't remember. I don't know if Cyril saw him. Did he?
No,
I think it was just Ulair.
no one saw him. He talked everyone through mental telepathy. He didn't show himself.
The only reports of their being a wizard seen were from the half orc, the mercenary, the hunter. So, this is the best detail that you have, and you do not remember what the wizard looked like, or you never saw a wizard.
I would just describe as much as I know about him from the conversations I had with the others.
He shakes his head. Wasting time. But interesting nonetheless. He looks to Halo. I guess it wasn't an ultimate waste of time. Turns back and looks to Cyril. I'm proud of you. Kind of starts walking over to the books. Like, he just dismissively just says it like it's not even something he actually meant. You see him start kind of scrolling through books. Damn it.
Do I notice what section he's looking at? What kind of books?
Completely strangely, it is a section you've bypassed a couple of times, but it's one that you're not ultimately sure why he's looking into it. It appears to be relegated to information regarding the Astral Sea. And he kind of stares at the books for a while and says, not here, not here. Not here.
And I know, sorry, you noticed the tree in Iskari Yanwi, yeah?
There was a tree?
Perhaps you should explain that one as well, Cyril.
And then he would explain what happened with Ulair, with the creature, with the seed, and the tree.
And make sure you tell him Ulair wanted to stay in the shadows. You were the one that told him to come out in the sunlight.
And I'll make sure I also tell him that Cyril wanted to turn back, and Ulair was like, no, let's keep going.
Well, we had to explore, right?
So which is it going to be?
Fine, tell all of it. Just tell the truth.
Of course.
Kind of dips his head to the side and kind of, it's just a Zana. It's not worth my time.
It's Zana?
He moves away from those books, goes to other books. You see him kind of take a couple of seconds, grabs a book, pulls it, throws it out onto the table. It hits. And you can see that it appears to be a list of fairies, fae, and elfborn. And it seems to be written by a human named Menahune.
Do I see anything about the seed or the tree?
If you take some time to look at it, but you can see that he, after tossing you the book, kind of turns and looks to you, Halo, and says, do you need to go back to the capital, or...
I think if we need to research more in the library, we can get there on our own.
Fair
Thank
enough.
you.
I must be going. He looks to the book, kind of like just condescending, looking down his nose at the book that he just tossed you, like, you know, it was like a kid asking for the dumbest of toys, and he says, good luck in your research. And then he... gone. Lady Alcontra, you arrived before them, well before them, back in town. Yeah, the captain seems to be waiting for you. I'm sorry, he says. This would be the Twilight Knight captain, sorry.
Yeah, I figured that's what you meant. I just sort of look at him impassively and just say, the others should hopefully be back shortly. Once they are, you are free to return whenever you want to.
He nods his head.
And I head
Oh, in case
to
you...
the Monster Hunters Guild.
In case you were wondering, yeah, this was the treachery. This was the sorry.
The
said, I head back to the
Guys,
monster
we got it
hunter.
out of the way. All right, clean
What
slate.
was the treachery?
So the treachery was basically all favor with Lady Aristotle that Lady Alcantara had hoped she'd ever had was just burned by the fact that the Twilight Knights basically outed your short-sightedness. And
Really, it was Cyril.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's
Cyril
be
was
honest, the treachery was Cyril.
It's all my fault. Daddy's disappointed in me.
he said he's proud of you.
Daddy's not the only one disappointed in you right now, Cyril.
Yeah, fuck you all then.
I don't have problems with you. I mean, I would totally. I'd want a mage in my service. You know, I would. I
I
have
didn't
money.
think he was going to be out of my service, so it's just, you know.
I'm just saying he's got. I mean, I've seen his resume.
Leaf,
He has options.
You're able to compile quite the revelry and are well into your songs and everyone who's kind of present with you is well into their cups.
Oh, also, I should have said, I would have mentioned if they're not back in like 24 hours, he's fine to go through.
He nods his head. Okay.
Just like I don't want to delay him too much.
He
but-
doesn't seem to be impatient. He seems to be perfectly
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just
ordered and reasoned.
I understand he might have things he has to attend to.
Absolutely.
No reason for him to stay around.
But yeah, you are well into your revelries. You are hanging out in the capital of the Rended Isle, and a lot of your, traveling companions of old and friends are present. Seems to be having a great time in Gracklio. Anything in particular that you want to accomplish, or is it just kind of a good time?
You're talking to me?
Yep.
I have 2 goals.
Okay.
Goal number 1 is to have the best time ever in the capital.
Nailing
So
it.
what I'm planning on doing is like hooking up with some bands that I know, bards, and like jumping up on stage and playing a couple songs and getting the crowd all riled up and crowd surfing and just doing this awesome stuff.
You're having a great time.
Think like Pearl Jam in the 90s. And then what I'm thinking of doing is also meeting up with some of these bard friends of mine that know a lot and finding out what they know about, like, if they happen to know anything about the schism, especially how to spell it, or anything else.
Are you interested in anything in particular that might have recently just happened or ended, and you want to get more details about like that conclusion at all?
Yeah, I might want to know like the summary of what happened. Why is the War Queen Lady Aristotle? Why is she so bitter? What's up with that?
They would tell you that the war is over, so she is no longer the War Queen.
Who tried to kill you?
That is true, but I don't really care. But I do care about like why she is so bitter. I mean, just because the war is over does not mean she is not a war hero and can she can like roll on that for a while. She can like let that ride and like have a good time.
So I mean, I understand. Like this halfling kind of walks up and says, "So I know you aren't terribly used to like the tragedies of war. I'm more of a tragedy storyteller myself, but a lot of people die in war, and the weight of those people's souls are weighing heavily upon her. Plus the other orders of business that are present, and it's probably not a great time to be her, especially since." If she had anything else that she needed to do or that she desired to do, she no longer has that power to do so. It's really just a good time for her to self-reflect,
Yes, my halfling bard friend. This is why I ask you these questions, because you have these you know about these things. That's why I ask.
Of course. You just come to Old Fink anytime you have any questions,
All right, now where's the party?
You got it right here.
All right.
So
This is the way my guest set works. I cast Enhance Ability right before I get up there, and then I just jam the shit out of that thing. And then if that doesn't work, I even use my inspiration. So let's do this.
You don't need to roll dice. You are successful.
I want to roll some dice.
Well, it's not happening. But that said, back to Alvin. Within the afternoon, you're very, very, very competently capable of making a very ordered transactional matter. Medita, which is a town that rests between Oznobel and Kasari Yanwi, is pretty renowned for their livestock. They do have some heads of cattle, but not too terribly much. They do typically trade through Oznobel that gets its stock from Korash, the kingdom of Korash on the Trosdoshan Isles to the south, who you're allied with, and you are able to kind of use the mediators or the middle group in Medita to get the stock you're looking for. It seems like you've garnered a pretty decent trade in. Also, by this time, you would note that Aramis has already left and is presumably in concert with the goblins as we speak. So everything seems to be moving great for Alvin Aylford. Do you have anything else you want to add to that?
I'd like to pursue avenues of fixing the skyship. Because I mean, do I still have the remnants of,
The broken stone.
I guess, the artifacts?
Yeah, the broken stone, the sky stone. It is certainly not usable at current. You would know that there's probably no one who has the Ken in the town of Kasari Yanwi that would be... Oh my goodness, you guys, come on now.
Look at that meow meow.
Two of them. We got a baby boy and mittens. So they're... Okay, nope, this isn't gonna work. This isn't gonna work.
Wait, it's kittens with mittens?
That is exactly how you should pet a cat.
I pet that cat like that because I don't want him to. He's very get in your facey, and yeah, he shouldn't be.
Look at that tail.
That's Mittens, and she's getting further and further into my monitor, so I'm gonna have to move her too. So hold on.
Move her into the camera.
Honestly, it's a lot better that she be right here under the camera than heading off of the desk that way. Because if dumb cat comes up and attacks her, she's going to try and jump down in between the monitors. And if she does that, she's going to be locked down there forever because there's no way out. And she's too stupid to recognize that. And then I have to ferret her tubby butt out. It's not good. Anyways, back to the point. You had said that you're trying to kind of get the Skystone
Yeah, I mean, are there, like, people that would be...
The capital is probably the best place
Okay.
for it, and Skystones are a very elvish specific thing, so the capital would probably be the only place that would be able to be renewed. Most of the smiths for that kind of artifice would be at the beck and call of the council. So it won't be an easy matter to do. If you have a wizard who's willing to research the matter and attempt to kind of put some effort and money into it, they might be able to reframe it and get it back into some semblance of working order.
How much money are we talking? Like, do I have an idea?
You don't. You're not a wizard.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it's basically like, okay, I'm taking...
Only we had a wizard in this town.
It's basically like, I'm taking my car in. All right,
That would be crazy.
what's the damage? Well, look, you basically don't even have an engine. You're gonna need a whole engine in there. We're gonna have
So
to
I need to replace an engine. It's pretty expensive.
right. But yeah, that said, pretty good points of order. So Cyril's definitely on your list of people to check out. Do you want to go ahead that way?
I'd have a courier. No, I'd send Kirk.
Yeah, Kirk will go
I'd
check it
send
out.
Kirk.
Okay. As you're kind of sitting there in the Tower of Lore,
Reading this book. I want to know what's going on with this
sure.
book written by Mena Yoon.
Fey creatures, there's one known as a Zana. Zana are basically fairy spirits of the wood. They are very rare and very... Oh yeah? Very old, Very ancient creatures. They predate dryads, whereas dryads are bound to a single tree in a glade. Zana are bound to an entire forest. And basically, these creatures are they're basically like primordial and more primal versions of a dryad. Their goal is to spread. Notice how I didn't say anything about them being evil or good.
Yeah, they just have a desire to get out there.
They're weeds.
Halo, make a religion check.
Just a 9,
Okay. What'd you get? You have advantage, actually. What'd you get?
then 18 with
Okay.
the advantage.
So, you would know, in the Zarathustra, or the fair god's religion, or the basically understanding of fairy creatures in a religious sense, and fey creatures in that matter, there is no concept of good or evil like is typical, that most folks of the material plane have. Some people are good, some people are evil, but when it comes to greater fey creatures, that's not true. They have a kind of set kind of description of how they'll act, and they will continue to do that thing. Even the grander, like the Witwiaden, the deities of the Fey pantheon, but they're not typically regarded as good or evil or neutral. They just are. You don't. Is winter evil? Is it
Does-
good? Is it good?
Okay.
These
Winter's not, but summer is.
Does the book have anything about the properties of these creatures when they spread? Like, what
basically
happens?
they wish to be bigger. That is it. They want to grow a forest.
Okay. A forest of them.
Mm-hmm.
Does the book say anything about other places where these forests exist? Whether
Oh.
or not these forests would push out any and like force out any other
Well, it would
creatures?
note that the creature, the Zana, live inside of the trees, inside of a forest, in any aspect. So you would note that there are times that Azana lived on in nothing more than a branch after an entire forest was destroyed, or within the roots of a destroyed forest, or therein. But again, their primary goal for Azana, is to continue to grow. That's it.
Okay. So I would make sure that I share that information with. Is Halo with me or?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Halo. So we could pass that on, especially to Olair, who seems really concerned about it.
Okay. A runner enters your tower, does not speak to you directly. One of your attendants, probably your main attendant, she comes up and she says, Alvin is wanting to meet with you?
And tell Alvin that I'm happy to meet with you. With him, does he want to meet here or elsewhere?
What would the runner have said, Dan?
He would have explained the necessity of fixing the skyship.
They
Uh,
and goes into a blurb. Dan, go ahead and continue.
explaining, the current, I guess, artifact that we have, or the current piece that we have, is shattered. We need to reframe it and then instill, I guess, arcane energies or elemental energies so that a ship can fly again. And
So-
that is something that I want to praise and perhaps get a time on.
So-
Or who might be an expert.
All that is basically subset into a one sentence framing, because Kirk wouldn't have remembered most of the words he just said. And then he would have delivered that message to your scribe.
Would he? I mean, come on, Kirk's not that dumb.
Then they would
He
have
wrote it down.
Kirk would have delivered that message to your scribe, who would basically summarize it anyways. Kirk is not let into the tower.
Sounds good.
But yeah, you get the gist. I want you to have a look at his rock.
Yep. Um,
My rock's crooked. I need it straight. It's all
Halo,
broken.
this has been quite a day. Thank you for helping me. I'm not sure you'd want to continue, but I'm going to try to help Alvin. You can come with me if you like, but I understand if you have other duties to attend to.
Gonna let you in on a little secret, Zero. And he looks to make sure there's no one else in the tower. Temple kind of runs itself. Let's go.
All right.
Ulair, we haven't talked for a while. Yeah, you did not pass over, did you? Did you go to?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
I was afoot to get things done.
Okay. And is there anything in particular you want to cover out in the open?
Yeah, I mean, I chatted for all to see. Basically, first order of business is I would head back to the Monsters Hunter Guild. I'd let Badgel know, proceed with negotiations. He has the green light. Nothing final, but preliminary. Be discreet. Don't broadcast. But start drafting things up to see what we can do. I would have Fenfir gather 4 hunters to prepare to depart for Skari Yanwi. So that we can go check on the tree, which might be a big old waste of time, but I don't know that. Then 3, I would then actually, like, I'm going to try and track down Alvin and ask people, have you seen him? I need to talk to him. Because I'm basically trying to get all my affairs in order.
Yeah.
I want to get done this morning before heading out.
Yeah, the message you would have sent to him basically has been missing him every single time.
Yeah.
So, that said, yeah, are you going to personally go and find him?
I'm going to personally go and try and find Alvin.
Yeah, you find him. It's not hard because I presume Alvin at this point would be kind of midday-ish, I think is where we're at, would probably be back home finalizing his efforts and basically securing his stuff and kind of looking over his broken Skystone in sadness. So, yeah, you'd be able to find him. His attendant at his door says, yeah, he's inside. He's a little busy, I think. And Alvin, you would hear there's an exchange happening outside.
So
of
I
your
would
door.
have a list of people that, no matter how busy I am, I'll see.
And there's one.
And he's one.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, he's.
So touched.
He. Yep. See yourself in. He says.
Alvin, how do you do?
Trying to figure out how to get the ship flying again. He kind of tosses forward a stone. You might have recognized it. It's shattered. It's basically cracked.
Oh, by the way, again, I explained the thing before. It's like the size of a bowling ball. So yeah.
Okay, I roll it, and
Yeah.
it lands on the floor.
Well, it's probably in the better part of 3 pieces, kind of loosely, kind of put together. But yeah.
I imagine like this big. I don't know.
There's a nice cheese wedge just chunked right out of it, and then the other 2 parts are just kind of like barely hanging on. If you were to apply enough force, you could probably snap that bitch in 2.
Damn, this sucks. Okay, yeah, that's gonna take a while. Oh,
This must be heavy-hearted work that you're about.
yes, unfortunately.
I'm sorry for your loss, my friend.
I mean, the people that I lost are worth more to me than the ship, but...
Tap, 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 tap. Kirk leans in. Hey, boss. He says whenever. And then this out.
Excellent. You want to walk with me, Ulair?
I must be heading out to go check on Iscarion. I just had one order of business before I left.
Sure. What can I
Can you
help you with before I leave?
Can you recommend a ship that I might be able to head in the direction where we know the Zeraton might be? Get eyes on it. Check
Hey.
where the ocean might drift it.
Hey, Kirk. We have any known scout ships in the bay? I've not really paid much attention.
Head pops back in. You still looking
Is
for
Henry out there?
Well, his head pops in. He says, you still looking for the turtle, boss?
Yeah, he's still looking for the Zaratan.
Yeah, well, they said that the turtle was seen just off the coast of Oznavel, not too far off. Last I got, it was this morning that came in. And another thing, they've been seeing a lot of lights.
Lights?
Yeah, floating lights all out and about in the Narrows.
Does that mean anything to you, Ulair?
Does anything come to mind? Nothing necessarily pertaining to the Zeraton
I
itself
think it
from my
was
reading.
Halo and Leaf who saw the lights before. Yeah.
Right. The only thing I can think of is possibly wisps of some kind, but I don't know what might be the cause of them congregating in such a mass.
Well, Uller, I, you know, you have my services. I understand you've been pursuing the Zaratan for a while, and you've done a number of things for me, and I'd love to assist you in your venture to pursue the Zaratan. And you know, I have this ship now. It's not as great as Sigurd, but you know, it's the Flitz. Have you seen it? You haven't seen it. You haven't seen it, Bay.
Well, you're probably getting up and walking outside anyways. It's probably docked
Here,
within sight.
come look at the
I
ship.
love to see it, my friend.
Well, I beckon him, you know, as I'm walking out of my office in pursuit of Cyril. But I want to show him the ship really quick.
You would see that it's a very similar but definitely different style of kind of personal yacht to the ship that he had before. Yeah.
Aramis gifted this to me. For what I don't know, he's very generous. I guess he and I are good friends, but I can't imagine how to repay him. Perhaps something along this excursion you have for the Zaratan. If there's anything, I'd like to join you, of course.
Yes.
But I would like to hopefully maybe bring something back for him as a token of gratitude for the ship that he has generously just given to me.
Though I do not know what we will find, we seek it out. If there is something, I'm sure that you can make a keepsake for him.
That's all I want. Just a keepsake.
But yes, I would glad to have you along. I know the client should be here. John, what is it? About 10 days left? 8
Yeah.
days?
Yeah, before, yeah.
So- I'm sorry to interrupt you. I want to let you know a couple things that I might need from you with the ship. I'm
Yes.
currently developing a retinue for whom will man it. Do any of your monster hunters, whom I assume you would want to have with you, we can only fit so many people on the ship, okay? And I would like to have some of your men present. And as I fill this retinue of, you know, seamen, I would like to have some of your men possibly fulfill the duties of the ship. Do you have any experience naval? I mean, I don't expect you to have any. I mean, you hunt monsters in the forest and in the jungles, but perhaps you have men that you want to bring aboard the ship. I would need to know how many, etc.
I'll let
He pulls out his. Oh, he doesn't have his timepiece. Fuck. I don't have my timepiece.
I'll have to check in. Have Kalen maybe ask out, but we might have some, especially those any hunters left who came from the Iskari wildlands. Is that did I ask Kari?
I think it's Scary.
Iskari.
You're fine.
Uh,
We know what you're saying.
Iskari wildlands.
Oh,
They've at
Akaskari.
least been on a ship before. Askaskari, okay, that's what I thought. Wildlands. They've at least been on a ship before, so they might have some sailing experience themselves. Akaskari. Okay, Akaskari. I'll see if there's any Karashians in our rolls as well.
Just in case you guys are seeing that Kari come up a lot in words, it means forest in Elvish. So
Yeah.
just in case you were curious why it keeps popping up. Yeah.
Well, Kirk is going to be the new first mate, so I'd like them to report to Kirk so he can maybe size them up, see what duties and tasks they'd be best fit for.
Send them to Kaylin. She's highly competent and.
I'm sorry, Kirk can't. He's going to be here in the port mostly. Sometimes I send him on odd jobs, but he's very busy. If maybe they could just, you know, you round them up.
Send them 3 to 4 men that might fit the bill, and he can, or 3 to 6, and he can kind of choose who he wants.
Excellent. I just want men of your services to be present as well. I think it'd be nice for you to have some of your compatriots present.
Yes.
Plus, you know, if we're gonna go see this beast, you know, it'd definitely be beneficial to have those that are well versed in monsters and beasts.
I don't know if any of us have been well versed with Zaratans, but definitely know their way around a fight with a beast or two.
Well, I think they understand, you know, going into situations, not misunderestimating creatures. Whereas, you know, my crew might just happen to be a little bit too brash or maybe too afraid.
Yes, we'll definitely try to be the voice of reason and the voice of courage as needed.
Well, we'll see how soon we can get this ship into the ocean. I don't expect it'll be within a day, but maybe 2 or 3.
And again, like I said, as long as within about 8 days is when I'd be looking to set off.
So, why are you so pressed for time?
It's more so when the client gets back into town.
Client.
Yes, he's the one that put out the request.
You see a different look in Alvin that you've not really noticed before, because you've not really pursued any business ventures with him. But he kind of like he has this new demeanor goes across him when he starts thinking about a client. He starts thinking of, like, you know, deals, money, you know, the business side of Alvin. So if I'm to escort you for this client, what is it in your benefit to gain from this client? And by shipping you and moving you there safely, I guess I've already made.
So the minutia is the money talk. So you guys would have
money talk.
Real quick, I because again, intriguing. But we've already discussed that this is situational money, the town's money. So you have a discussion about that, and it's really, really riveting for your characters, but boring as fuck for me. So I'm just gonna move from you guys as you do that,
Well,
because that's literally, it's upkeep money. It's that's what we're talking about.
Well, I gotta pay my
No, I get you.
crew and shit.
No. That's happening. That's great.
And then after the money talk, that's when I head back, tell Kalen, send some people over for inspection. I get the 4 hunters, and we head out of town. We head south.
And Alvin goes to Cyril to discuss the matter of the orb. So, real quick note, Arcana check, just because I know where the conversation is going, and I'm going to let you role play it out. I just want to preface it with data. Because it seems that you guys are very intrigued about that kind of
I'm
stuff.
rolling for shit today.
You have no idea how that is going to work, and you would need a lot of time with it. You might be able to get someone to put eyes on it besides you. You do have some friends who might be potentially keen on that.
You make me sad, Cyril.
Every single roll has been so bad tonight.
You make me so sad.
I will find a way, Alvin.
Of course.
All right, cool.
This might take some time.
Lady Alcantara, I'm assuming you went back to your keep at some point because we haven't talked to you for a while. Let's get back to you. It's usually the Alcantara show, not tonight. It's weird.
Hey, trust me, I actually don't mind the break.
But yeah, you get back to the keep. Is there anything in particular you want to follow up on, engage in?
I mean, there wasn't a huge amount. The plan, I think, was after figuring out what was going on in the capital was actually for me to try to catch up on anything else that was occurring while I was not around.
Boring.
I know. I get to have a boring session. It's actually kind of nice.
You well, no, I'm saying, like, the minutia of the town proper at current in this current state of being, it's boring. I mean, this is good. Town seems to be running just fine. You hear that Aramis, the mayor of the town, has left. He went south to Iskari to follow up on trades brought to him by Alvin Elford.
John, I would also want to talk to Cyril about the trip that Ulair has planned. I mean, I would want to have him with us.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, again.
Yeah, I would just broach you with the subject about Zaratown and wanting to have you present. And I would give you a quarters that would be private for you to do your studies. You wouldn't be expected to do any tasks aboard. We would have plenty of food.
How dare you?
I'd implore you of the beauty of seeing the open ocean.
How dare you? I cut you off because yours was boring, and you cut me off because mine was boring.
Yeah. We're both boring everybody, John. It's just...
I'll fight you.
I'd be happy to help you, Alvin. You've been a great help to us in the town.
Well, you'd be helping me and Ulair. But, of course, thank you.
But basically, Lady Alcantara, it's Borisville, here in Kasari Yanwi, where it's not boring, unless you had something else. Looked like you were about to say
Oh,
something.
no. I was going to say, like, I was more thinking I was using this as a time to preoccupy myself with something physical while I stewed internally.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you engage in some practice, musical or otherwise.
Yeah.
Just something to do. Speaking of music, Leaf, having a great time. It's pretty late, and the party kind of winds down. Everyone else, we will be fast tracking you into the evening time. I don't think there was much that I was missing, though, right? Got everybody good caught up, right? Okay. So, Leaf, it's late, and you know that your quick ticket back to Kasari Yanwi is closing if you don't rush to it. Do you go and check to see if you have any friends left in the capital tree, or do you want to stay the night here?
Oh, Leaf has like many friends in the capital city, so he's not worried about that. I mean,
Leaf goes to stay with Halo's family.
Yeah, I'm not saying
saying.
I'm not saying you'd be hard pressed for anywhere to stay, but you know that your window to get back to Kasari Yanwi in less than a day and a half, you know, instantaneous versus a walk, is going to be closing soon. Do you want to?
I see what you say. So what I would do is I would have a great party, and I would have lots of alcohol and drugs, and you know, all that great stuff.
Drugs.
And then,
oh,
you know, there's like fantasy drugs. You know, they're legal stuff.
Devil
I'd have
weed.
it prescribed by my doctor for stress and that glaucoma.
Dr. Feelgood, right?
Wait, guys.
Yes.
Do you have any spice?
Wait.
You know.
Don't
Spice?
ruin my
Are we going to
fantasy
Dunes,
world party here.
Lord?
And then I would like run back like to the portal, and I would like lose my one shoe. It'd be my glass shoe, and like my Prince Charming will probably come and you know, grab the shoe and find me back at our town. But then I
I'll
would
be
like,
your Prince Charming.
The priest would toss it after you. Your shoe would appear on the other side. As you appear on the other side, you see the Twilight Knight look to you and say, "The others, I presume, have already made their way through. In another way."
I have no fucking idea.
He shrugs. I didn't get a chance to mention this before, but I understand you, and I respect you. When we fought on Nadrasi Island, your conscience was clear. I don't know if you're going to remember much of this conversation in the morning based on the glaze in your eye, but don't lose your pure heart.
Oh, don't worry, my friend. I remember a lot because I'm in this state like at nighttime very often. But yeah, thank you, and I would give him a big hug.
He's an alcoholic. He's a drug addict.
He surprisingly returns the embrace very warmly, and after the hug is complete, Novinger kind of smiles. You can notice that there's a bit of a blush there, and he kind of walks towards the gate. You see him kind of perform a very quick motion and say, "The gate will be closed," in Elvish, and then he kind of disappears in through the gate like you did, and then you watch as the magic circle on the ground just starts to kind of slowly just vanish. Not like instantaneous, like one shot. It's like it's being undrawn.
Oh, whoa, this is so cool.
But yeah, you head back home. the rest of you throughout the remainder of the evening sup and engage in your fellow such and such. I will say the next morning, if unless there's anything that happens during the night that I'm wanting to chime in on, but during the early morning, a couple of ships do come in to Kasari Anwi. You're awakened, Alvin, with some notices. Again, you're not woken up. Nobody wakes you up, but they put the notices on your desk. So when you get to your desk, you can see that they've been present. It looks like 2 ships came in the early morning hours. One appears to be a merchant vessel that came in. It appears to be your good old friend, whose name is escaping me right now. But
Here,
you
let me pull it up.
probably know it.
Your good old friend.
Are they?
old friend.
Is he friends with Alteria?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a second. Sorry. His name
Douglas?
Maddox Corbin.
And no, that's not right.
I mean, he's the only other guy that I know that affiliates with Alteria.
Reams, Captain Reams.
Oh, Reams. Fuck that guy. That guy is like a hack. He's very, very shoddy in his work. He's not detail oriented. He, you know,
Fitz
his
hated
his
him.
men, Fitz didn't really even care for him either.
Yeah, but he the last place he was going to was Alteria, so he must have returned from there. Is what I'm saying. And then the other ship appears to be a vessel that is unidentified and has been noted as being called the. Hold on a second here.
He had the Weatherford. Captain Reams did. He was the captain of the Weatherford.
That's right. That's Reams, right? But the Oculus is the second ship.
Spell that for me.
I will in the chat.
So he's the captain of the Weatherford and the Oculus?
No, there are 2 ships. Reams came in on the Weatherford, and a second ship which is not identified. It doesn't seem to have a. Basically, the Weatherford is a frigate, right? Specifically, a transport frigate, merchant class. The Oculus does not have a class or variant. It literally just says unknown, unknown, unknown in all of the spots that are filled in. The captain is not even noted, and it says name of ship Oculus. And if you go out and look out there on the ships on the docks, you'll see that the Oculus appears to be nothing more than a very long, big-ass thick tree that's just kind of floating in the water, docked up with ropes tied to it. The branch is kind of hanging off the top, kind of connected to the port.
Well, that's what I'm doing today.
Okay. You
Who sails a tree?
you walk over there.
Are there any sails?
No, you walk over there and you see that there are several people just kind of like looking at it, confused. Kirk
Who is manning the driftwood?
Kirk walks over to you and he says, I was not the person who allowed it, dock, and cloister, but he gestures to the guy standing next to him. He says that a voice came to him and asked for the right to dock in the formal and cordial manner.
Sure.
No one has
Fair
come
enough.
off of the vessel as of yet.
Well, who filed the paperwork?
He points.
Who-
He points to the same guy. I don't know, boss. He said, the wharf master said. He says, I don't know, boss. A voice came into my head and I just filled out the paperwork.
Maybe you should go have a couple drinks.
You bet. He said.
Clear your head.
He walks away. You got it.
Yeah, fuck, man. That's a shitty day. Something comes to you in your mind and just it's driftwood and tells you
sorry.
what's to put on the manifest.
I don't mean like a tree like you see out, in the world. I mean like a big ass redwood, like that's as tall as a ship, that's docked in there with branches on the top of it. Like it looks like it might be some sort of craft. It just doesn't look like a lot of effort was put into shaping it.
I literally was imagining driftwood.
No. It's a big ass tree.
So it has some practical purpose to it. It's not just.
It looks like a big ass tree.
Okay. Well, I am going to get a couple men and explore this vessel.
Okay.
I want to understand it and what its purpose is here in my port.
As you approach it,
Wait, John, you said it's a big ash tree, but I think you mean it's a big ash tree, right?
Ash.
It's a big ash tree.
I get it. I got it. No, it's actually oak. But as you approach the tree, you do see that something kind of comes up out of the tree, and you see a woman kind of appear. She appears to be completely naked, but her skin appears to be made completely out of wood. Her hair appears to be kind of greenish in color, and it looks
Is she
like
a dryad?
there are leaves and such throughout it. And she kind of looks at you.
Is she a dryad?
And without speaking, you hear a voice in your head, and she says, I went through the proper channels. What are you doing?
I'm quite mesmerized by your vessel, and I wish to assist you in maybe any needs you may have here in my town.
You are the portmaster? She's not moving her lips, by the way. You are hearing it, and you are talking aloud.
I'm not talking. I'm thinking it.
Oh, well, then
I've conversed with.
Then she waits for you to speak.
Well, I think upon myself. I am
Alvin
Elfward.
She doesn't respond to you thinking to yourself, is what I'm saying.
Oh, well, then I say it aloud.
Okay. She responds to that. To the people that you brought with you to investigate the ship, they're kind of looking at you like, huh? What, boss? Confused.
No one's talking to you. I say,
okay.
Hush.
She says, if you are the portmaster, then you must have able bodies.
For what purpose?
I'm tired of floating.
You wish to take dock here?
Not dock. I need to be planted.
Oh no. I think to myself, another fucking tree.
It's like Tree City up in this bitch. I need to be planted.
Before I bring you aground or anything along those lines, I need to consider the potential risks. I would need to advise, or rather seek advice from my magister. What is your name?
Then whoever that is needs to be brought to me.
May I ask your name? So that I may ready him before he...
My name is already on your register.
The Oculus?
She shifts back into the tree.
Okay, cool.
You realize that you are kind of dealing with someone who's snooty, and apparently no longer sees you as worth talking to. You're like the guy that she left kind of confused.
Well, I will say nothing to anyone about this fucking ship in my port.
Then you'll just have a fucking tree in your port, taking up a space.
That's fine.
I mean, to be fair, John, she has a really wooden personality.
Gain inspiration.
I already have it.
Give it to someone else.
Zach's got his hand in the air.
Look at with all these trees coming to people and wanting to be planted.
I don't know.
This is really weird.
It is really strange.
It's rather unusual.
That's early morning stuff. You'd also note that the Weatherford is there with Reams, the captain of
Weather for sure.
Early morning. Any other business? Any other people want to engage in the other morning business?
I would like to appreciate Tim's bad pun that you seem to have missed over, John.
I must have. Is it in the chat? Because I'm not really paying attention.
No, I said she really knows how to bark orders at people.
Okay, yeah, get inspiration for that too. It's pretty good.
Inspiration.
I would take it. I gave it to.
Alright, Alvin, you got it.
Love it.
actually wasn't expecting inspiration for being the second fun, so I'm glad I got something.
I would continue to basically get the crew ready for these arts on excursion, and I would pursue other individuals I would want to have in my retinue. Leaf, Halo, and maybe anybody that El Contra would want to have aboard the ship.
Okay.
Like maybe anybody she would see fit for a duty.
Sure.
As to
Perfectly fine. Back at the Monster Hunters Guild, as you're kind of getting your morning routine done, you head downstairs out of your office, and you can see that there's a person standing there.
Wait,
in
who?
The Monster Hunter Guild.
I left town to go south to check out a tree.
It only takes 3 hours to go there. Sorry, I forgot that part. Let's rewind. Yesterday evening. That's important. Let's get that out of the way. So you
Okay.
get to the town,
Mm-hmm.
and you were the people that I had mentioned were arriving when Cyril and them were there and then disappeared. Because the other group had already been there for some time and had already descended down. So when you arrive there, you see the tree. You do not see the other party you were made aware of, Aramis and his entourage. They appear to have... You can kind of track them, though, and can determine that they have descended into the tunnel space.
Mm-hmm.
That said, the tree does appear to be about, as I mentioned at that point, 6-ish feet tall, with a couple of branches glowing kind of radiantly in sunlight.
All right. Because the other day we tried like see can it be cut or not, and it seemed to just kind of like move against whatever blades were put to it, right?
Correct.
I guess
When it
I
was a root or a sapling, yeah.
I would go and not to like heavily score, but just like I would scratch at it with the non-magical knife just to be safe. That's my still original kukri. Was it a kukri?
Is it made of iron?
Yeah. Whatever it's made out of, I don't know.
So you cut into the tree, and
I just like ever so gently trying not to like, just to scratch the bark of it. Basically.
something about the radiant energy kind of the tree kind of dims as you cut into it, and you can kind of feel like you don't know what it is, but like a wrongness after cutting it, and you kind of and then you hear a voice in your head, which I think you've heard before. It says, "Why?"
I'm sorry. I didn't mean offense. Blades did not work the other day, and I was fearful for what is happening.
What are you doing with your hands?
With my hands, they're like I would have like put the knife away, and they're just sort of like with the one hand I'd kind of like it's like feeling bad and caressing the boo-boo I made.
The main thing I was pointing to is as you put the knife away, you kind of slip it aside. The radiance starts to kind of glow again from that point.
I try speaking to the tree and just like, are you...
Nothing. You could recite the Gettysburg Address, it would just stare at you like a tree would.
I'm at a... Like, in my head, my intentions was we're gonna end up being here overnight. Camp out, watching it for a
Well, again, you're an elf, so you're probably going to bed down early and then leave in the middle of the morning, and then arrive there at first light instead of travel, in that way. But totally fine. You'll be there the next morning. That's the point. You will have stayed there long enough to have Aramis come up from the tunnelway with a big smile on his face and his entourage of sellswords and the like. And he says, Master Hunter. And he kind of gives you a slight bow.
What are they called? They're the kings?
The three, yeah, but they don't.
But they don't like that title.
No, it's rather undermining it to our...
Yeah, exactly. Master Aramis.
Aramis.
I see by the smile on Aramis. I see by the smile on your face you've done good business this day.
Yeah, indeed. Definitely a great group of goblins you've got down there. Interesting about the Zana, gestures towards the tree.
Yes, what do you know of them?
Pretty old fae. Very strange to see just a rogue element like this. They typically grow more broadly.
Well, I was the one that, by happenstance, brought the seed from underneath the tunnels.
When Azana is more pleasantly allowed to live its life, it very rarely shows itself. Just a certain, I don't know, presence. You've probably felt it before. Kasari Anwi was built in Azana.
Is it the feeling of just someone watching you?
No. Why, have you been feeling someone watching you?
The other day, which is something I normally do not feel the way I did.
I'll be honest, I felt a certain strangeness in Kasari Yanwi when I was there, the last day I was there. Now that you mention it. But nothing here. Kind of smiles. I am heading back. I would like to get back as soon as possible. Are you remaining?
This is in the morning?
This is in the evening.
Oh. I think I might stay to just catch how this thing reacts to first light, but if you'd like an escort, we can come with you.
How it reacts to first light? It's a tree. Shrugs.
A tree that grows quickly. It was sunlight that it sought when I superheated in my hands.
Fey creatures in desperation will twist the matter of nature, but not distort it so much so that it's warped. It just seems to be progressing a bit faster than a normal tree might. Again, Azana in desperation. You said you had a seed? Where did you find that?
In the tunnels that you came from, but in the opposite direction. And I described the creature
there's the tunnel on the one side of the crater, and there's the tunnel on the other side of the crater.
Okay.
So it's actually...
So, the tunnel behind the Zana is the one that me and Master Cyril came from. And the creature that we met that gave it to us. And I described the creature to him.
One of the cell sorts goes, we can check it out. And you see Aramis go, I'm not much of a spelunker. Looks to Belair. Well, I can tell you it's not going to do anything strange. But if you don't believe my word of it, then I suppose you can wait around to waste your time.
No, I will take your insight in this matter and head back with you.
You said you found it in a tunnel space. Were there roots or trees present?
Yeah. Yes, roots with some form of inscribing on them as we're going. Andy, did Cyril ever actually explain later what he found out, what the thing said?
What do you mean what the thing said?
You know all the signs that said turn back, don't go this way? Did you actually ever learn that from you?
Can we... I don't know if we've talked about it, but...
You haven't really talked since then, so no, probably not.
But I know I wrote it down.
Halo was the one who gave that information over, so, yeah. You see Aramis kind of, strange sylvan markings, a root structure, and you say it's about, points at the tunnel, an hour or so that way?
And the creature that gave... And I described the creature like how it hid in shadow and it always seemed X amount of distance away.
Yeah,
and then immediately in my presence.
That sounds like Azana. He kind of shrugs. I suppose we could head in that direction, but above ground. See what we might be able to find.
Maybe we'll see where those roots came from.
Yeah. It's not too far from The main forest. It's kind of on the way. Shrugs. Let's go. And the sellswords kind of nod. Your hunters kind of look at the sellswords, who are, pretty decently outfitted. Mostly human. But yeah, you all travel. And when you get to where you presume the forest line would be, you can see that there is a nice solid patch of scorched earth. Looks like there's broken trees, twisted roots, kind of up earth. Looks like there are some root structures that look like they've been kind of dug out, but looks like they've been cut away from deeper root structures that would descend deeper into the earth, presumably deeper into your tunnel space. And you can see beyond that, maybe about a mile or so out from where you're at, you can see the forest line. Another forest that seems to kind of start off there. But this patch of forest, I mean, presumably about a mile wide, in all directions, just burned out. He kind of. I have no idea. You can make a nature check or a Arcana check, whichever one you want to choose there. Of course, results would be different.
Yeah, Arcana would probably give me the actual what caused this, but I ain't trained, and I'm more likely to pass nature. Let's use my inspiration. Why not for the 24?
Red dragon.
Dragon. It's the only thing I can think of that could cause such.
Aramis kind of looks to you. But it would have to be a gold or a red if that were the case.
Aye.
There aren't any dragons in the Rended Isle. So it can't be that. More likely magic of some sort. You might be... Well... I suppose you would be the one who'd know. I dare hope you are incorrect.
I'll have to confer with Cyril to see if he can think of anything of a magical nature that could do the same. But...
Well, if there is a dragon out here, I would rather be on our way back to Kasari Yanwi. I know it's no safer, but less likely, based on historical evidence. That will be
We're
attacked there.
ill-prepared to deal with such a danger right now, I agree. Let us head back.
You arrive back by morning, and as I mentioned, sorry to keep going with Ulair, you guys, but you get back, and soon after you enter in, someone enters into your front office, and Venvir kind of comes up to you and says, there's someone to see you. And,
Alright. Is he in my office?
no, he gestures to the man kind of standing there in the opening, and you'd recognize him as the strange merchant with the straw hat from before.
Kanji, it's good to see you.
Same. So, any luck?
I actually have recent bearings of where the Zeraton might be, and I have enlisted a ship to be used to go on our voyage.
Oh, good. I've had such a horrible time sailing with this fellow, this Reams gentleman. He's a bit surly. Not my favorite. I'm hoping that the ship is a bit more kindly than what I've been forced to deal with.
It is a beautiful personal yacht.
Well, great.
We shall sail in the lap of luxury.
I will remain in Kasari Yanwi until you are ready. He kind of shrugs. I think I have some strings I might be able to pull to get myself a nice place to stay. If you come looking for me, seek me out in Cobblemug's Tower.
I will do.
Alright. He exits, and then we'll go ahead and cut to everyone else this morning. Whoever wants to start is the person who says the thing first. Anyone?
I'll talk if nobody else wants to.
Go for it.
First, I will put on a very crappy French accent, and then I will try to say some stuff that is fun and yet also has a little bit of meaning in it, and is good. So what I would do, I would wake up the next morning and I would feel great because I even rolled a con score to see what it would be, and it was like really good. Like when I party, I actually feel better than when I don't party. So I would wake up and feel great, and then I would go grab some breakfast and probably write down some lyrics of some new songs I thought of when I was really wasted last night, and talking to my bard friends and my fans and everything. And then I would probably try to go talk to Cyril and Alo. Probably go talk to Alo first, just to see what he's up to. Because whenever I'm coming off of a good high, I want to talk to my friend Alo.
And he's not too far from where you're at. I'm assuming he kind of gets up and goes through the motions of temple. But again, it seems that everything seems to be working fine. Again, without Halo. You would note that your companion, whose name is... Oh gosh, I'm so good at this. Flaxius. He has apparently had some sort of artifice fashioned for his leg. So it seems that he's no longer putting his weight on it. If I haven't already mentioned that before. But it does seem he is engaging in his regular day-to-day. He's just doing so with kind of a different stride. But
Yeah, that's fine. Millie about the temple. I'm not hard to find for Leaf.
Leaf finds you.
Hey, Alo, let me tell you about last night when I was in the capital. I had the greatest time. I went to the party. I played some music. I was crowd surfing. It was just great. I thought of lyrics. I want to know what was up with you. How you doing?
Oh, I'm fine. We had an interesting time at the library and made our way back to Kasari Yanwi pretty early.
Oh man, I just barely made it. I was like, they were closing the place down. It was crazy.
It is unfortunate that portal is no longer accessible for us, but not much we can do.
Maybe our friend Cyril will become so powerful that he can open up portals left and right. It'd be awesome. I'll sing a song about it.
Your
That'd
wishful
be great.
thinking is always welcome.
If you always think of things in a great way, then everything is always great. Am I right?
You have yet to be proven wrong. That is true.
Anyways, I feel great. I was thinking we'd go over and talk to Cyril and, see what he's up to, find out what we can do now, like what's plan B? What are we going to do about that? Maybe if I play a really loud and cool song, I will attract some of these schism to me. What do you think?
Well, I'd love to see his face when you share that idea. Let's go.
All right, let's do it.
All right. Lady Alcontra, waking up to business. Anything in particular you want to engage in?
Honestly, I can't think of anything right now. Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything in particular that really, I feel like it needs to get done. The one thing that I can think of is, I know that Ulair had... Who was it, Tim, that you said you had working on the contract with the dwarves?
Badgel Bog.
Badgel. I might either send for Ulair or Badgel just to see how that's going along and if they've actually had any contact or if they're simply just still writing stuff up or,
For neatness and chronological order, about 20 minutes after your conference with Kenji, you would receive notice from Nancy stating that she would like either you or Badgel to basically update her on the status of the Dwarven contracts and any other matters that would be prudent for her to be aware of regarding this negotiation.
I would speak with Badgel. Badgel, since you know these kind of things aren't quite my area of expertise, would you like me to come along, or do you think you can handle the talks with Lady Alcantara?
Or, I mean, if it's just numbers, I got it. But if it's more than that, I'm going to be really.
All right, I'll make time. Is Nexi still there?
Yep.
When would she,
tapping her foot.
When would she like us?
Now?
Well, I guess that there's other things to discuss with her anyway, so let us be on our way then.
Okay. You see him, Badgel, kind of gather up all of this paperwork stuff that he's drafted.
I help him as much as my weak self can.
Yeah, it's not so much that it's heavy, because it is just kind of loose papers. It's more that it's just kind of disorganized, and him kind of putting it together at the end. Fenfear, as you're leaving, says, "Hey, there was something I had for you, boss. I'll remember it by afternoon, promise."
He's the
Counting
best.
on you, Fanfare.
Yeah. You see him kind of like focused and kind of do one of those, was it? kind of things as you kind of head off. Okay, going to Alcantara to have that discussion. Leaf and Halo heading to Cyril for that discussion. And Alvin waking up in the morning, engaging in... again, you have a lot of updated information, but it sounds like your crew would basically be ready. The main thing I mean by updated information is that you are prepared and no one else knows that you are ready.
Yeah, I want to pursue a couple other people. I want.
Who you want first?
Ideally, I'd want Leaf. I need Miriam at my ship.
Okay. So, yeah, you'd be seeking out Leaf. Roll me a d20.
Standard D20.
Yeah, just d20. No adds. You would catch Leaf and Halo as they're entering or moving towards the Temple of War, where Cyril would be.
Oh, excellent.
Do you kind of just follow them in then?
Into the
Into the tower, yeah.
Oh, the Tower of Lore?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So then, Cyril, you'd be receiving Halo and Leaf, and then shortly thereafter, you'd be receiving. Oh my God! Why is my brain? Why did I just try to call you Anvil?
Alvin?
Why did I just try to call you Anvil?
Anvil Elfward.
I've been up since 5. Don't judge me. But yeah, so then all of you would basically come in very shortly thereafter. Like it wouldn't really provide enough time for you to have a conversation with just Leaf and Halo. Alvin would be included.
Okie doke. He
Hello.
would. Cyril would have gotten up early and would, feeling bad about not being able to help Alvin, would have tried to do some more research about that. So anything that he can do to help with Alvin's ship.
Yeah, you know that artificer work is not something that you are terribly great at as a diviner. So you know that there are some people in Melanri and definitely in Osnobble that would be able to help with that.
So I would send messages perhaps to those people.
Can you cast sending? Or are you talking about book or paper?
Paper.
Yep, that's fine. You can send letters.
Yep. So I'd have my scribe do that and send them off.
Okay. And then, yeah, you'd get guests.
Okay.
Cyril, hello.
Good morning, Leaf.
Yes, good morning to you. It is a beautiful morning after a great concert I had last night. So, I am loving it, loving the world.
To be as happy as you.
Yes, it really reduces stress. I'm like half as old as you, because of my stress level.
I'm sure you look it.
That is right. Partying actually makes me look younger and not older. It's crazy. I don't know how this works. Anyways, Elo and I were coming over to talk to you. We wanted to see what is our backup plan after we lost the schism. I mean, I was thinking if I play music really, really, really loud, the schism will just come to us like dancing and flipping and having a great time.
I just really want to, real quick. You are playing an aging hipster flawlessly.
So, like, yeah, if Cyril has a mug of hot something and he sort of hands on his, just watching, go ahead, let's hear it.
Oh, this is great. I cannot believe you are allowing me to do this. All right, now back up. I have a ritual. I cast a little spell on myself to make my performance even better, and then I just grab my lute and I play like hell. But I also dance and I do a little flip while I'm doing it. Not a flip, but more like a split. That.
I imagine both Cyril and Halo allow this to go on for like a full 8 or 9 minutes, 10 minutes this happens. He's dancing around making a ruckus and then finally sort of winds down from the third song, and Halo is just gonna turn and look out the window and go, "Did it work?"
So
I think it did.
So Alvin, this is just amazing.
Just walk and just
Yeah, you're getting
parade as I walk in.
Yeah,
music
it's like serenading. As you enter.
Yeah. It's beckoning my entrance.
You all kind of just lose track of time as he basically just plays some great songs.
All right, when I start to sweat, I stop and I look at everybody and I say, "I do not see them here. Wait a minute. Maybe there are tunnels on the ground. Wait, let's talk to Lady Alcantara. Maybe have her people dig tunnels and we will find them."
Real quick, yeah, Cyril, make a charisma saving throw.
Oh boy.
Don't worry, Cyril. The worst that can happen is you can die.
That's 7.
It's going to make you happy.
You reminded of your feeling before, that imprisoned feeling that you had. You have another weird sensation, which you're not really able to describe, but it's kind of like this strange kind of sense of entrancement. You feel like a moth and Leaf is the giant flame.
The music's in me.
Like that time on the ship.
Don't worry, Cyril. You could be my fan. You could be close to me and you could be my fan. I have lots of fans. Do not worry.
Group, yeah.
Oh man.
A groupie.
Just what you want, Leaf. You want the groupies.
But you don't know.
course.
You don't know what it is, but it feels like there might be something to this.
So, is it a good feeling or a bad feeling?
It feels like you've heard Leaf play before. It's never been this good. So either this is the best song you've ever heard in your life, or something about the weird connection you've been feeling as of late. Which, by the way, I forgot to mention, during your trancing last night, it was still present.
It was still present. Okay. So Cyril's going to try to explain all this to Leaf and especially to Halo.
And Alvin's there to hear it as well.
Sure. Whatever, man. That's awesome. Help me out. It seems like it's working. Can you play more?
Do bears shit in the woods? Sure, I will play another set. Do not worry. Let me switch out from a lute to a lyre, and also maybe my flute a little bit. I like to channel Ian. What's the name of that guy from Jethro Tull?
Yeah.
Ian something? Yes, him.
Anderson, maybe?
I think it is.
Want to become famous? 5 followers.
Holy shit! I rolled again. I rolled a nat 20 on my first roll. That's freaking incredible. The flute blew you away, man.
So the main point is the music does seem to have something to it. There seems to be some sort of resonance present here. You don't know what it is, Cyril. It's not affecting Halo and Alvin. I mean, they are. I mean, Alvin's probably loving it. I mean,
It's affecting me.
it's affecting him, but you know that there's something besides that. Being a man of books and knowledge, you understand that this isn't something you really had happen before. There's a, I don't know, like a oneness with this song.
Yes, you see, Cyril, this is why I thought that the schism had some sort of connection to music. See, I wasn't just pulling this out of my ass. I thought that when I played, it really did affect it.
You're wise beyond your looks, Leaf. Sorry.
I have the wisdom of a child.
That's right. That's right. Very nice. So, Cyril would then be really interested. He's talking out loud and seeing if he could turn this music into kind of a weapon. You know, is there any way of magnifying it or anything that he would research that would be able to use music and that kind of to channel?
No. Let me
Wait,
stop you
hold on,
right there.
hold
No.
on. Let me stop all of you right there. Hold on. To what you're thinking, Cyril. Make an Arcana check. Sorry.
Anybody have inspiration? I've been rolling so bad.
I mean,
Maybe.
a couple of us do at this point.
Okay, maybe I don't need it. 26.
So, you recall that the schism has something to do with some sort of song of creation. The song that's happening here, it doesn't so much feel like it's going to be weaponizable. It seems like something about the nature of Leaf's music right now, in specific, is making you feel like it's connected somehow.
Yes, let me also tell you what Leaf would say. If you mention anything about weaponizing, he would say, no, that is not what I am thinking. I'm thinking more like control and making them follow me. You know, like that old story about the rat, the guy who plays his flute and all the rats follow him. You know, that sort of story. I'm not thinking of weaponizing. I'm just thinking of like making them love us. Doesn't this make you love me? And I go over and I hug him.
Oh, thank you so much.
God.
Come on, Cyril. Put your arms into it.
Give him like the pat.
Everyone else is
Oh.
like stone faced.
I have to go give Halo a hug because I need a good hug, you know?
Oh, that's so great.
Hey, Cyril would hug him.
Yeah, why not, you know?
And yeah, again, it's you don't feel like it's taking hold of you or anything. You just feel like there is a connection to the music.
Don't worry, Cyril. We can workshop this, you know? Think about it and we'll workshop it.
As there's a pause, Alvin, you kind of
Oh, I would let them finish. I mean,
well, yeah. I mean, they've paused now, so obviously a room for applause, and they kind of notice you're there if they haven't already.
Quite a performance this morning. It's a wonderful way to start the day, if I do say so.
Thank you. You have always been a great person who enjoys good music and art, you know? You are always a good person in that respect. I love that about you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I know there is a certain individual named Kareem, who's a rather, and he kind of smirks to himself, rather fond patron of your services.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But I won't continue.
Yeah, sorry about that.
You're fine. I continue with my current venture. I spoke with Ulair yesterday regarding his pursuit in the Zaratan, and I've grown quite fond of all of your company and your skills, and I wish to have you with me. Now that the war has been settled and the lands have been kind of secured, I wish to maybe get out of the minutia of this town and perhaps seek something a little bit more stimulating. And I want you all with me. Your expertise in the matter at hand seems to be quite invaluable. And all of you, Halo, Cyril, and of course Leaf, would be of great service to me and my crew. Would you accompany me?
I think a change of pace might be just the thing I need.
Cyril, I already have a cabin in mind for you, one that would be quiet and secluded during our travels. I would only utilize your time the most optimal of service. Those hours that would be precious to you, I will have secluded to yourself if you wish, and services of food and drink as you need in your studies. And Leaf, I have a crew that needs nothing but merriment and drink.
Well, I
Right,
enjoy
sorry.
nothing but merriment and drink, so of course I'm in. I think I could make time for it in my schedule.
Halo, I have quite a crew of lost souls, or rather those that need spiritual guidance, and who knows what we may encounter. If you would be there, I would be most humbly grateful.
How long do you expect this journey to be, Alvin?
I know the Zaratan is somewhat on the outskirts of Azanoble, but I don't know how far. I don't know how far the travel might take us, but I know that your services would, of course, be
Well,
valuable.
you out of character probably don't know that information, but based on what's been said,
No, that's what I had heard.
no, I know.
We're not there?
No, what I'm saying
Oh.
is you know exactly how long it would take to get there because you are a master of the waters. So
Well, then
I know
relay
I
that.
know that you as Dan don't. So I just wanted to make sure you would know, based on where they said it was located, just outside of Osnovel to its its shores there. Your presumption is that it would take about a day and a half to 2 days on a ship of your speed to get there, and based on your interactions there and whatever Kenji has planned, add that onto it. You don't know how long that'll take, and then the return trip. So no more than 4 days.
4 days, tops, of travel. We would have plenty of time to explore and adventure the current situation.
I think I could devote a 6-day to you, Alvin. Of course. Have to
I would love to have that.
set aside some things at the temple. I'd appreciate at least a day's notice to put my affairs in order, but a 6-day seems quite doable.
How long would it take to put your affairs in order?
Oh, just the day. We could leave on the morrow.
I know Alaire would quite enjoy your company as well. He will be joining us, and
Oh,
some of his men will be too.
Fantastic!
I wish to seek out Our Lady to maybe hope for any company she may wish to, I guess, treasure us, or not treasure, but give us any specialists or anyone she might see fit, or maybe if she wants some time on the ocean, it could be better to clear your mind, out there.
Speaking of, we haven't seen her since we left her at the capital. I wonder how her meeting went, Cyril. I'd be happy to accompany you to her keep.
If you would, maybe save me some time. I do have many. Actually, Cyril, now that you're here, that brings me to a point.
In your own tower.
There's a tree in our port that wants to be planted.
A
That's
tree?
rather unusual. Yeah, another sapling, or
No, this is
I don't know.
this is a whole ass tree.
It's a whole fucking tree
It
that wants
spoke
to
to
be
you?
planted. I mean, the I guess the maiden spoke lipless and soundless to me. So
I
Where
yes,
did
think-
this maiden come from?
I have not the slightest clue. She seemed to grow rather uninterested in myself when I spoke of wanting your counsel before I made any decisions upon our soil. She seemed to be rather snobbish.
Not the way
For all I
fantasy-
care, I could leave her in the port. Maybe we could make a nice ship out of her bark.
Wait, guys, I think this is what happens when you become a sanctuary city to the Fae.
It seems to be what we have done here, doesn't it, Leaf?
That
So-
is right.
This is another of the Zana.
I don't know what you're talking about. It
So
seemed
he would
like
describe.
another
He would describe what he learned.
dryad.
Mm-hmm. which is a dryad, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that's a matter to discuss with Alcontra, since she has responsibility for the town.
Would you take this forward to her in addition to my request for her accompaniment or that of a specialist or two on our ship?
I will.
I need to return to the port.
Cyril, you would know that you typically have the ear of Lady Alcontra. You can go and visit her whenever you like. Everyone else is pretty much by appointment. Well, the same would be true of Halo and Ulair. But everyone else, the other two people, pretty much.
Definitely not Leaf. Nobody wants Leaf to hang out because he's so not cool. But he's
Appointment.
actually the fucking coolest.
Only, but
Leaf and I are gonna go to the port.
all right. As the advisor, do you wish to go and speak with Lady Alcontra?
I wish to speak with Lady Alcontra.
Make an
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, sorry.
make an insight check. Just you, Cyril.
Alrighty. Trying to decide if I should fill
He
this
rolls
in for-
poorly. No,
I
give
don't know.
him-
We have inspiration. Who doesn't have inspiration other than Cyril?
I don't.
Okay.
Give you inspiration.
14.
Oh
All
man,
right,
I want.
23.
Yeah, this seems like a great idea.
With a 23, it seems like a great idea.
Yeah.
That's good.
You probably needed a 25.
Okay.
Okay.
DC was 46.
Yeah, really.
DC was impossible. I just like making you roll dice.
Waste inspiration. We're burning inspiration left and right.
Yeah.
It was Zach. It wasn't 46. It was only 45. Come on, we have to be
Got it.
reasonable.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Into
I don't want to.
5.
Right.
We need to
I was
put
being hyperbolic, Matt. Sorry.
we need to put them on round numbers like 5s and 10s, please.
It's
Okay.
aesthetically more pleasing.
It is. It's so satisfying. So, anyways, you head that way.
Yeah.
Nexi comes in to speak to you and says, "Cyril is here to speak with you."
Oh, I wanted to go with Cyril.
And
Sorry.
Ha-
That's what I was saying.
Cyril and Halo are here to speak.
Unless
Leaf, are
Cyril
you coming to
doesn't
the
want
port with
go.
me?
Sorry, hold
Yes,
on, Matt.
I need to go to the port to inspect how many cases of rum are on this
That's
ship.
what we're doing.
Okay.
We're gonna
Yes.
go party.
Great.
and
Definitely.
drink.
Matt, what were you saying?
So I was going to say point of order in terms of I had already previously, like Ulair and the B-named guy whose
Agabog.
name yes, him,
Yeah.
were coming to speak to me.
So they'll go first.
Yeah.
So, Larry, you arrive. Lady Alcontra. Magdiel has a bunch of papers and is giving those to your scribe. Seems like a lot of contractual nonsense.
Bagel here can give you an update on any of the numbers of what contracts he's working up.
Of course, my lady, of course.
Is there anything specific you wanted of me as far as for vision, other type things?
Just in terms of what necessarily is your plan, you'd said you wanted to spread out towards them, but did not elaborate more than that.
Sorry, real quick, for my purposes, Matt, is she still pissed?
Oh yeah, she totally is. She's trying to hide it, but
Okay.
Yeah.
You can make an insight check, Tim, but it's going to be a high DC.
Oh, I mean, yeah. I'm just 6. Nope.
Yeah, there's something off. You don't know what it is. You have no idea.
Yeah.
But there's you definitely are the normal gutty works of, oh gosh, I'm scared to be in her presence is starting to set back in.
Well, you see, so, the idea is to possibly go and by opening up another hall over in Dwarven Lands, it has more and he's struggling with the vibes he's getting off you. He doesn't know why they're there, and he's like, "What? How did I screw up?" So, see, more presence means more foot traffic. More foot traffic means more money. While they would probably need to support whatever town they're in, then the proceeds would come back to us and help bolster our town's affairs. It would grow the renown.
To make
of
it even
skill.
more stressful, Nancy kind of wanders to the side of Lady Alcantara and whispers into her ear. You have no idea what's being said. It's presumably about you. And Nancy says, "Your advisor and your guide are here to see you. Do you want them in this conference or keep them outside?"
Yeah, I was going to just do a very a very subtle, just sort of like hand in front of face, and just sort of like tell them to wait.
Of course. Nancy wanders off. And you are there, and Nancy says she's currently engaged in another conference. She will be with you momentarily.
Then just sort of looks at you and goes, "Continue."
Yeah. You, Halo, make an insight check.
$22.
Nancy seems to be giving like a very strange look at Cyril, like, and seems to be just kind of like every so often just kind of shaking her head. She just seems to be very. Cyril doesn't notice, but you notice, and she just seems to be kind of looking at him like.
So as Alcantara's like, you can proceed. I'm sorry, milady. Is there something I've done wrong recently? I mean, I know I let the tree out of the caves, but I wanted to keep it in. I was wary of it. But good news.
Whoa,
is,
phrasing.
I went to go check, and it seems actually a port of order there too. But something other than this is it. I don't think it'll be hostile. It's just trying to grow.
So Alcantara just
undercover,
kind of like
and
cuts you off, like it just sort of like
It's
cuts you
just
off.
trying to grow.
Just I would like to say in a not very reassuring tone of voice says, "There's nothing that you've done."
all right, but oh god, all right, this actually is a thought, so I'm gonna say it, and I'm laughing at the possible implications of it. Well, actually, I need to talk to Cyril, but from what there's scorched forest to where we might have actually encountered the thing in the first place, and the only thing I could think of is dragonfire that could have done such devastation. But I'm sure Cyril might be able to give another arcane explanation other than that. But if there's a dragon, then we might be in some deep shit.
Well, we may have noticed a dragon, I assume, or someone would have.
Aye.
Even
But-
more dismissive.
At this point, though, I don't see what that has to do with the dwarves.
Right. That was actually something I wanted to talk to you anyway about. Maybe Sans, Master Bolg. But anyway. So
you feel a hand placed on your shoulder, and you see Badgel kind of look at you. We should get back. we should go. like pleading at you. His eyes. We should get back.
like get back to the guild.
Yeah.
Alright, well, the idea is long story short, I'll try to be concise or wrap it up, is that it's a new area. We will have better response times, more likely to get more work from them. They pay us gold. Gold comes back for our services. New monsters that we might not actually see here means rare goods, more money in the selling of the parts, and a portion of the proceeds would then be filtering back to our town to help grow our wealth and allow us to expand operations here and whatever else you see fit.
Badgel gives a solid pat on your shoulder. Like,
And-
you did good.
Mr. Badgel, do you have this written up?
I've left all of the contracts with your scribe, and all of the details regarding percentages. I went with what was standard for our normal hunters and augmented it favorably, as I was told to. so that it will be something that will service the dwarven hunters, but will be less favorable than contracts that are handled here.
Good. I shall have my scribe look over it, and assuming that assuming everything's in order, I expect things to proceed as punctually as possible.
Nodding his head, slowly backing away.
One final point of order, but a possible contract. The person who had brought up the desire to see the Zaraton, actually, I bumped into him this morning, and in short order, I'll probably be sailing off with him. I see this contract as something to also grow the prestige of the guild, for us to having to come into contact with the Zaraton, and he does promise, it seems like decent fortunes as well for undertaking it. I want to put a little personal touch on this, plus it would be a great experience to see the Zaraton up close. But I don't know how long the course will take. I imagine it could take up to a 6-day away. But I wanted to inform you of that. Unless Cyril seems to think that this could be a dragon as well, and I would then understand if I must stay here to try and hunt him down and help coordinate the capital and such doings. Matters.
Well, so long as things are in order, and if worst comes, you have someone in mind to replace you, I see no reason why you shouldn't.
All right, Ty. I will put my affairs in order, as it were. Well, if I have your leave, milady.
Just sort of nods.
Nigel's opening the door for you. He's already back there. Larry and Badge will walk out. The two of them walk out, and the door closes behind them, and you can hear a oh.
Let's go to the kitchen to get something to drink first.
Yeah.
I need to cool my nerves.
As those two are walking out, you would see that Cyril and Halo are at the front.
Yeah, they.
Contra?
Do I pick up anything from his face that he's making right now? Like, I'm assuming his face tells me everything about Alcontra's attitude.
Yeah,
It's just like boy.
That
It's gonna
comboed
be
with
a fun one.
what was being served by Naxi earlier. You're kind of like, this is going to be hilarious, or
I'm
this
gonna
is
have a grand old time.
or this is going to be bad. You don't know what you're walking into, but
Either way.
yeah. Was Alvin with you lot, or did he go separate?
No, Alvin
he went
went
with Leaf.
report.
That's
to
right. That's
drink.
right. Okay, so the two of you re-enter, or enter rather, and Ulair and Badge will head back to the guild. As you two enter, Nancy kind of opens the doors, and then as you're entering in, you see that she closes the doors behind you. And Lady Alcontra, sitting up on her throne, looks down at you and...
Alcontra, it's good to see you. I hope your meeting with Aristotle went well.
We shall return to that subject, Cyril.
We have much to discuss. And then Cyril would explain what he learned. The fact that he saw his father and learned more about the schism creatures. 2, what he learned about the seed, the Zana, the dryads, and connected to that, 3, Alvin's sort of request about the tree requesting to grow near the harbor. Is that right, Dan? Right?
Somewhere on our soil, maybe
Yeah.
not the harbor.
Okay. And then
Definitely
finally,
not the fucking harbor.
Okay.
I would send it out to the ocean. I don't want that thing in my harbor.
And then finally, Alvin's request, which many of us seem interested in, to do this sort of voyage.
Halo takes out popcorn, waits for response.
I know that's a lot.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to remember everything in
Much
order.
has happened. So the first would be Father and Schism,
Right. Father Schism, then it was the
the tree,
Zeratos, yeah, the
right?
tree stuff.
And then it's the specific location in town. The tree wants to be in town, and then it's the journey.
Right. So in response to the stuff with your father, I mean, I'm just trying to think over that conversation. I can't think of anything particularly that I found like stands out.
Yeah, and Cyril might say something like, and
So-
I don't know if there's anything in particular we can do right now other than to continue thinking about this. He's certainly not making it easy on me, expecting that I would know things that I don't know, but I'm going to keep working on that.
Yes,
So maybe
well-
we need to put that on the back burner.
He was not the only one that was not easy on you. Mentioned that we should keep it in your tower. The schism creature.
Mm-hmm. And I mentioned that I felt unsafe having it there without being behind bars.
Yes, well, now, unfortunately, all favor that may have been shown upon this town has been erased by that measure. And potentially, any favors that we might be able to get from Our Lady have been removed.
That must make you upset.
That is quite a simple way of putting what I'm feeling right now. As for the Zeraton, there's not much that we can do about that now, and I suppose I will have to meet this tree which wishes to be planted. I shall have to get back to you about Alvin's response. When does he plan on leaving, and how quickly must it be returned?
I believe he's interested in leaving in the next day or so.
Next session.
Well, I shall have an answer for him later. But I suppose for the time being, I must go speak with a tree. Hopefully, it will give better advice than certain people in this room. You can leave.
Is that? Nope. I'm just gonna go. Bye.
Popcorn, just all.
Cyril would say, I must remind you that as leader of the town, you could have insisted that the creature stay in the tower. And he would turn and leave.
Nixie opens up the door, looking at Cyril with kind of a just a subtle shake of her head, and lets you two pass. She steps in, closes the doors, and looks at you. I apologize, I was listening in.
She's always listening.
I thought it would have been a lot funnier. she then says, "Shall I ready your retinue for a trip down to the docks to go and speak to a tree?"
This is the weirdest situation I've been in a while.
It's your problem now.
Yeah, no, I know. Yes.
So yeah. Alright, well, that being the case, you start to head that way, and that's where we'll pick up next session. The conversation with the tree. My presumption is, as well, at that point, there will be shifts to getting on board the vessel and sailing out to the turtle. So I will have both of those matters prepared for next session. Alright, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream. Doesn't look like many people stuck around this late. Oh, you sleepy guys.